it this far. Drove me to a road, then you tossed me out of your car. From fear of the traffic, I walked through a forest of trees. It started getting darker as the city disappeared behind me. And then I hear your voice yell, you're calling me. You said the bad man's coming, he's following me. So run, now wolves are coming for you. Be quiet as the wind, 'cause he's tracking you. So run, now wolves are coming for you. Be quiet as the wind, 'cause he's tracking you. I'm covered in mud and I'm wearing a jacket of leaves. The panic starts to show with the scent of anxiety. I give up my place and jump into a river of sins. The wolf might be warmer, but it's not enough, he can't swim. I hear him drowning slowly, and he's cursing me. Says he's got a following, and they're chasing me. So run, now wolves are coming for you. Be quiet as the wind, 'cause he's tracking you. So run, remember what he said. You better tiptoe through the snow or you'll end up dead. You better take your chances before they take you first. So run, remember what he said. You better tiptoe through the snow or you'll end up dead. Be quiet as the wind or you'll end up dead. You better take your chances now or you'll end up dead.
What's up, everybody? It's Friday night, and you know what that means. It's time for an all-new Socially Awkward Studios. We got your dude, Steve-O. And me, I'm your boy, Froyo. It's Friday night. The drinks are tight. Let's have some fun.
That is right. It's time for an all-new Socially Awkward. I'm Steve-O, and I'm joined by, okay, we're going to be honest, Matthew died in a car accident. No, I'm just kidding.
So sad.
Matthew went to a wedding, which Stephen had to give me he's like, yeah, is he going to a wedding? I'm like, oh, that makes sense now. And, of course, Stephen is back on the show.
Hey, here I am. Yes, Steve. Wow, man, you got Steve-O, and I just have Steve. That's a little bit boring. We'll have to figure something out by the end of this episode, I guess.
Well, you could go Steve Areno.
Steve Areno! Hey, Steve Areno right here. Yeah.
Steve Areno right here. Well, how I got my nickname Steve-O is, of course, you don't pick your nicknames. People give them to you. So my friends watched the movie SLC Punk. and Matthew Lillard's character is named Steve-O in it. So then in high school I got that name, Steve-O,
And it stuck.
So I just decided it's like my podcasting name. So if people try to find me, they can't because they're looking for Steven,
Right.
with the PH, the German spelling, or the one time the teachers called me Stephanie.
Oh.
In high school,
That's cute.
This was a substitute teacher, so he's calling out the names. He goes Stephanie, and I would say he goes Stephanie Mooney. I'm like, it's Steven. And he goes, oh, and then I go, that's why you're a substitute teacher. And my teacher came back the next day and was all like, did you really have to put the substitute? It's like he's got a bad enough life as it is.
And you put him in his place.
I had to.
And life just liked you more. But anyways, yeah, so we don't have a Matt.
Yeah, Matthew is out of town.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe enjoying life. I doubt it. I mean, where else would you rather be right here on a Friday night?
Well, I told people this, I don't know how many episodes ago, but I said Matthew should start becoming this guy that people pay him to show up at their weddings. Because Matthew is just a fun guy to have at weddings. Like, I went to one wedding with Matthew. I was invited to one. Him and his wife were there. And he's just like, gets out on the dance floor. And then it just makes other people, like, feel good. They're like, that guy's having a good time. I want to be a part of that. So he could be like, look, he shows up. All of his drinks are paid for. He doesn't have to worry about dinner. He doesn't have to worry about toasting anybody or anything like that. They just pay him a certain amount with the free drinks and just
make sure the party keeps going.
Yeah.
Keeps the people dancing. That's a profession. No, you're onto something there.
Matthew Renfro, or literally Fro Show Party Man.
Party Man. Well, you know what we should do? So I listened to last week's episode, and the girls were talking about how they had put together a online dating thing for one of their friends. We need to do this for Matthew then. We need to put the Craigslist ad together for him to get hired out to be the party guy at weddings. We should do that for him. And I doubt he's listening to this right now. He's not going to know.
No, he won't know.
Yeah.
He might. You never know. He might peek in sometimes and be like, are you talking about me?
How often are they talking about you, narcissist?
I mean, I feel bad when I listen to my own show, and I'm just like, and I laugh at my own show, and I'm just like, oh, what's wrong with me?
I did that after I was on last month and a half ago, whenever it was, and I had to listen to as I critique, I'm my own worst critic. That is for damn sure.
Yeah, no, I do that all the time. Just right when I said yeah, no, I realize how much I say that, all this. I mean, well, the first podcast I ever did, I literally said a lot, and we said if you turned that into a drinking game, you'd be dead within the first 5 minutes. It was bad, so I really try to watch myself. But it wasn't so much that I was listening to the content of the show; I was just trying to figure out how things sounded, because getting the new mics in the studio and testing out everything and going, oh, okay, this sounds good, this person doesn't sound good, so all that kind of crazy stuff. So it's kind of fun. But then, like with Life is Shit, promoting my own shit right now, listening to that, I always die laughing with it.
Oh, really?
Like,
even though you were there, you were half of the content, you still are cracking up.
I'm still cracking up. I just think it's ridiculous. It's just a stupid show that me and Patrick do, and it's just funny. So, but before we jump into everything that we caught up, I have to say, so future guests, Steven has already blown you guys out of the water. Took me out to dinner. Wine and dine me for a bit, and then comes on the show. So you kids really got to step up your game when you come on the shows now.
Yeah, apparently I really upped the bar, and I didn't realize that, because here I am thinking, I'm like, man, my wife, she's got the boys, she's taking to my mom's house, I got nothing going on after work. I should see what Steve-O's doing. Maybe we'll go grab dinner, get to know each other a little bit more. Because except for being, like, running into each other at Comic-Con and being across from the mics, we really haven't talked or anything. So, like, yeah, let's just go dinner and some beers. And so, so totally took him out to dinner tonight. And apparently, like, on number one spot, I should probably have a shrine somewhere, I guess, in the studio.
Well, you're going to be, obviously, you're a recurring guest, so every month. And so, yeah, I think we're going to have, like, your own, like, chair. And I'll put a plaque up. Actually, I should totally start doing that. So since I got the board, people can't see this. You've seen pictures of it, but I have a board up. But now I'm thinking, like, it's kind of like empty on either, like, side a little bit. So maybe what I need to do is get a nice picture of you and then just start doing Employee of the Month.
Yes. We're doing it.
I'm walking in and I'm like... But it comes down to it's like every picture is like one is you looking this way, but then the one below you'll be looking at you, and then it's just like Brady Bunch.
Very much like, yeah, that's how you
know. It's just all like, who is this guy?
Who is this guy?
Every time I'm come on the show, he's like, he's doing things.
He's doing things for us.
But of course, I know what happened to you for a couple of weeks that you've done. But if you want to fill in the listeners tonight, what have you been up to?
So let's talk about our weeks, because that's how we start this show off with. This week was the getting into reality week back at work, so this week really sucked balls. But that's because last week was vacation. Every year, annually, my parents rent this beach house on Mission Beach in San Diego, And my whole family goes out there, and there's 12 of us, brother, sister, grandkids, and all that stuff. I got 2 kids myself. But we go out for a whole week, and this week was just the best. The longest we've ever done it. We were there from Monday to Sunday, the full 7 days. So by like the 3rd day in, and we've been to the same beach house, the exact same house actually, for 4 years now. So we just know the house, know the area, know where the grocery store is, all that. And that's usually what we do. We'll big grocery shopping trip, there's cooking, grilling, drinking on the beach. But by the 3rd day, it's just like totally relaxed. Like you're literally just sitting there doing nothing. You're not even a tourist anymore. You're not doing the touristy things like Seaport Village and all that stuff. Like we knew the burger joint we wanted to eat at once. Otherwise, it was just such a relaxed vacation. So driving back Sunday and then going back to work right away on Monday was like, I'll be honest, listening to a lot of reggae, Beach Boys type music just to keep myself in that just relaxed mode. It was so nice.
Yeah, it's always a drag, like when you have to, like, because I was setting up the trip that got canceled, but I was coming back early Monday morning, like I'd get here like at 9, back to Phoenix, and then I was just going to take the entire day just to relax and take care of the little things I have to do before I prepare myself going back into the work week or whatnot. But yeah, you have to do that sometimes because it's like I've never done the like even Vegas. I did that when I first went to Vegas with Matthew. I took the next day off, even though we came back Sunday.
Oh, okay.
And Matthew didn't. And Matthew was like, I should have taken that day off. I was like, dude, I've never done Vegas before, and I did the same thing when I flew back again with Patrick, which is funny because I never went to Vegas until it was like last year, and then I went twice in 1 year. I was just like, but then I was like, I really want to go back, but then I haven't had the chance to or whatnot. But yeah, I was trying to take that one day to kind of detox, as I call it, where you're just like, okay, prepare yourself, prepare yourself, and then you show up and you're like, work, I hate you,
Yeah. But it was an epic vacation. Loved it. My son, I've got 2, 5, and then my youngest will be 2 here in a couple of days. But he was able to boogie board for the first time in his life, which was really cool because the house we rent, the garage has chairs, umbrellas, boogie boards, all that stuff. So they had one boogie board that was a kid's size, and he got on it. We're not even knee deep in the water, just little waves for him, but he just got a kick out of that. It was great to see him. He totally loved it. So
he's going to become a natural.
He is going to become a natural. On the Pokemon Go standpoint.
Oh, okay, yeah. So how was the creatures?
It was way awesome. Okay. Yeah, I mean, being by the ocean, plenty of Magikarp and Goldines and stuff like that. But then my 5-year-old is into it, so he's got an older iPhone that we just have on Wi-Fi that he plays his own Pokemon Go character. Belmont Park is about half a mile south, and they have an old school roller coaster. There was a ton of Voltorbs and Magnemites and stuff like that.
Awesome.
It was just the coolest thing. So it was really neat being somewhere else because here in the desert, a lot of Ekans, a lot of Rattatas.
You run into a lot of the same things. And see, that's what I was looking forward to because I was going to go to Virginia Beach, and he does the Pokemon because he has his own Pokemon podcast. You guys can check out on the 4i Radio Network as well. The Victory Road, a Pokemon podcast. I have to plug my buddy's show. He actually got really good listens for his first 2 episodes. I think the first one was 500 listens.
Whoa, that is really good for a Virgin podcast.
Podcast. So,
nice.
And then I made this thing going hey, a podcast I'm not on, it gets more lists. No, I'm not going to self-deprecate.
We're not doing it. You did. You know what? You did that a lot last week.
Oh, I
noticed. You had to. Or was it just because you were just surrounded with the girls type of thing? And they're all talking about dating and all that shit?
I'm just not very good with women.
Oh, okay. You just self-deprecated right there. That just happened.
Well, let's put it this way. When I say I'm trying to be funnier. I'm just trying to be funny, and it's easier to make fun of yourself than it is other people half the time. That's how I learn. If I take the shot to myself first, no one else can take that from me.
Sure.
But when a 6-year-old kind of does it to you, I'll put it this way. So Patrick's daughter came over one time when we were doing stuff. She was hanging out, and she's like, "Oh, so it's just you and the cat?" I'm like, "Yes." And she's like, "So you just have the cat for company?" When a 6-year-old knows,
when
a 6-year-old is self-aware, that's when you realize, I got to really rethink my life.
Yeah.
But that kid is smart. Patrick's daughter is very smart, and she's freaking hilarious because they watch Jaws. She wanted to watch Jaws one night, and they basically would turn your head away when it was certain parts of that. But at the end of the movie, she was sad because she's like, "Why did they have to kill the shark? The shark just wanted to eat." And you sit there going, she makes a point though. So yeah, this kid's, and she built a dinosaur head out of Legos with no instructions one time. She's like, "Oh, look, it moves and stuff." Patrick's like, she's gonna be an engineer like him.
Dude,
he's like,
that's nuts.
Yeah, so she's very smart for her age. She's on the ball with stuff. But yeah, it was just funny when she said that. I was just like, I really need to rethink my life. But yeah, back to the Pokemon stuff. But yeah, that's kind of cool because you get all the stuff out here. But I even thought about that. We're having an outing at work like a couple of weeks out, probably like the last week of October. It's gonna happen. We're going to a park, and everyone's like, "You gonna play in the games?" I'm like, "No, I'm gonna spectate." I'm like, "I'm only gonna be on my phone catching Pokemon."
Yeah,
that's what
let's
I'm
just
doing.
be honest right now, and that is what it's become. And this Pokemon craze is just awesome because I'm able to share it with my 5-year-old. And Steve and I were talking about this earlier, like when Pokemon came out. So I'm going to be 37 in a couple of weeks. So so like when Pokemon came out, I was 16, 17, 18 years old. I was way into girls. Pokemon was that nerdy, geeky thing my little brother was doing. I didn't want to get into that, so I wasn't not at all, until Pokemon Go came out. And now it's this epic thing that my 5-year-old and I watch, and we're watching the original Pokemon cartoons on Netflix right now. It's the best.
Okay, I think we talked about this. We didn't talk about it on air, but I do want to bring it up. So watching these shows, this is the first time you're seeing them.
Yeah, first time I've seen them ever.
Okay, right off the bat, Ash is the worst trainer in the world.
Oh my gosh, he is. Ash is so bad as a trainer. I mean, I can't remember the girl's name he first runs into, but
Misty,
she's just so much better than he. How did he even get along? I just don't get it. Like, he's pretty much given this Pikachu. He should not have caught anything.
Yeah, well, it's funny because everyone always brings up these episodes, like they're like, oh yeah, when Butterfree leaves and yada yada, and they're just all like, he just gives shit away.
Yeah.
Like he finally catches something. Like I think I don't know how far you are into it, so I'm afraid to spoil things.
Yeah.
I guess he catches like a primate at one point, and then I think later on he just gives it freaking away or something like that, and you're like, what is wrong with you? This is why your rival is kicking your ass everywhere you go.
And he's extremely cocky. Every time he is near a town or a new gym, and he can beat everybody, he thinks. Like, he needs to be beat down a few more times.
A big time. He needs to be beaten down. But the joke I made with Pokemon when I was looking back at it, like when I saw it, I was at the age that I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go within 7. And looking back at it, I came up with the idea of I'm starting to believe Professor Oak isn't a real professor. He's just some crazy dude just like, oh, you're 10-year-olds, here's a Pokemon, go fill my Pokedex and do my job for me, you know?
He's just a very wise old man. Yep.
You know how I got my doctor? I just sent kids out in the woods and recorded shit. How do you think Blair Witch got made? Like,
That's right.
It's like I just have kids making my shit for me.
Yep, you can see. Oh, that's awesome. So that's so it was a great vacation. It was all around.
That's good though. Yeah, sometimes you just need that. I thought it was funny with you because I was like, hey, you're gonna be on the show. You're like, oh, I'm going on vacation. I'm sorry. I'm like, why are you apologizing? I'm like, look, if I could go on vacation, I wouldn't do the show either.
So for everybody listening, when Eric had left and moved back east, I said, hey guys, I will guest host whenever. And then Steve reached out to me like, listen, put me on your calendar last Friday of every month. I'm in. I'll do it. I put it on my calendar, and then I realized, and so I felt like a total dick because I hate the fact that I committed to something and then backed out this last minute because of the vacation. So yeah, I was like, dude, I'm so sorry for being a dick about this, but I'll have to admit, Steve was really cool about it, and it only cost me a burger and a couple of beers tonight, so we're all friends again.
Well, you didn't even have to take me out to dinner, but thank you. That was a bonus. Maybe if you play your cards right, you might get some third base action.
Toby, you're out.
Well, I was just laughing because Matthew just sent me. So, have you heard of Marco Polo?
I only on your episode this last week.
Okay.
That's the first time I'd ever heard about it. I meant to download and check it out and everything because it sounds like it's a video chatting. Did you ever do Voxer or anything like that?
No.
So, which was just an audio messages back and forth. This sounds like literally video messages back and forth. I can watch it whenever I want, send one back whenever I want.
Yeah, so it's like Snapchat, but it's instead of pictures going away, the videos stay, and you can actually delete videos. Or what I found out, because I actually sent the wrong video to Eric and Matthew when I meant to send it to my buddy Pat.
Okay.
But you can actually forward those videos to other people, which I thought was kind of cool. So, but what's weird, so you have an Android phone, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the weird part. So my buddy Patrick has the Android one of this. Mm-hmm. So you can change like the filters. There's like different filters, and then there's like a pen tool and a typing tool. But with the iPhones, the pen tool, you can change colors. But with the Android, you have a microphone and you can change the voices. But I thought it was so weird that each one of these apps have different features.
Very different features, yeah.
So because he started doing like these story things to me, but he has this voice thing where it's just like kind of like warping his voice, and it's just kind of funny. Right. But I can't do that on mine. So it's like I basically am waiting on him to like give me these stories or whatnot.
So it's not even an option on the iPhone to do that?
No, it's not. I thought you had to send out like maybe so many like something unlocks, or you have to have so many people, or you have to, or maybe it was something in settings that I looked, and I don't know if they're going to do an update where everybody gets everything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, speaking of which, so Matthew just Snapchatted me now. You guys won't be able to see it or hear it, but I'll play it for us.
Oh.
So it looks like they're out eating some dinner right now.
Megan eating some food.
And Matthew making a face, and then Eric reports back. So Eric's at work right now.
Yeah, he's got the Forward Radio T-shirt going on and everything. Oh, he's got the mug. I mean, this guy's.
This is like a self-plug for the show right now.
Yeah.
So no one's ever going to be able to see these things, but I'm going to hit them back right now, and I'll shoot you anything. So, hi guys, we're doing the show. We just showed your videos. Say hi.
Hey everybody over here.
So we're doing the show right now. I know this is great for the people who are going to listen to this later. They're going to what the heck are you doing? But no, yeah, I highly recommend it. It's a fun little app. It's interesting. It's kind of cool, like the different stuff you send back and forth to each other, and just like, and then literally like I could be at work and get a video and be like, have my headphones on and listen to it, be like, oh, this is funny, and then it's like, well, I can't really do a video back, but I could type back, like just have a picture of your face, and you can be like, haha, oh, that's cool, or something like that.
Nice.
So it's just a fun app. Like Eric sent us the link over, and we just been. So I got Patrick addicted to it. I've been trying to get other people into it, but most of the female friends are like, I need to have makeup on and stuff. And I'm like,
you just want to see my boobies. Well, yeah, no shit, I want to see your boobs.
Speaking of which, speaking of boobies, this is a weird segment. I do want to bring it up, but did you ever hear back from that guy?
No, I didn't. God damn it, I didn't. So I don't think we talked about this. Let me fill you in. The afternoon before the last time I was on this podcast, I got a text message, and I'd probably delete it by now. I got a text message from this guy. It's so old. But anyways, it was a picture. It was like, hey, you still up for swapping pictures of our wives? Here's mine playing the Wii. And it's a full-on naked shot of his wife, bush and everything.
Yeah, it's like, I think from the neck down.
From the neck down, yeah. And she's got this Wii remote in her hand. And I don't know who the number was. I asked my brother. I asked a few of the guys I know. No clue at all. No. And I never heard anything else.
So we came up with the joke, like if you still had it and everything was current, we said just find like a random picture of a girl on the internet and just send him that, and then just see what keeps like how much this kind of
see how long I can keep it going and
back and forth or something like that. But yeah, I thought that was like, I've never gotten like, I pray to God I wish I would get like a text message like that. Like most of my text messages are just all like, you want a bigger dick? And I'm like, no,
I don't have anything to do with it.
The last time that happened, it's like, you want a bigger dick? I was like, yeah. And they're like, you'll be there in 4 minutes. And I'm like, oh no, that is not what I signed up for.
Not what I wanted.
But yeah, so it's so weird. It's like I'm promoting this Marco Polo app, and it's like I don't get any money for it, but it's just fun. It's like Snapchat. I actually like it better than Snapchat.
Okay.
Because Snapchat, I can't figure out anything. Like people are like, look at these filters and look at this, and I'm like, what the hell is like?
Thank God. I deleted my Facebook 4 or 5 months ago. Got a little more into Twitter. Way got into Instagram, and I was like, everybody I knew was getting into Snapchat. All right, I'm gonna try to get into it. I have an account. I started it. I was lost. I'm too old for Snapchat. I think that I am a generation too old for Snapchat. I just couldn't get into it. And I know plenty of people that have it.
Yeah.
But it just was not my thing.
Like I even was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to get back into it. And I pulled it up. I did the news update. I'm looking over stuff. I'm like, okay, let me try to figure this stuff out. And then all of a sudden it's like, here's your story. And then it wasn't letting me send stuff. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, this is more complicated than it was before. So I just kind of gave up. And then most of the time it just ends up with like people sit like I start messaging people because like they'll be my Snapchat friend, but I don't have their cell phone numbers or Facebook stuff or anything like that. And it's just like, so then I end up I just use it as text. I'm like, oh, hey, how's it going? It looks like you're having a fun trip, like kind of thing. And I'm just all like, I said, why don't you just text me? I'm like, because I don't have your number.
I don't have to. Yeah.
I'm not popular.
Well, so the Marco Polo is simpler then.
Basically, yeah. It's like I said, I'll pull it up again. I know this is good.
Because I'll totally use that. I love the idea of it. That's what Voxer was. I used to Voxer a lot back and forth. Yes. Quick conversations you can listen to and reply to whenever you wanted.
So it's almost like Facebook chat.
Okay.
So basically what I mean by that is like you could literally set up like single accounts, so you and I could just be talking back and forth, or you could do a group message.
Gotcha.
So that's what we have. We have the SAT. So like so many people can be in the thing. So you basically just kind of click on it and just kind of shows the video. And you can also turn it around. So it can be like, there's you, and then turn back to me. But yeah, then those have a couple of the settings. So there's the type, and then there's like the text and everything like that. But as you can see, there's like all the videos at the bottom, so you can even rewatch these things.
Oh, okay.
If you want, and then you basically just hit start, and you just kind of be like, hey, what's going on? And then like you can switch the filter. Oh, that's on the pen tool, but you can switch the filter just by swiping it. So there's like night vision mode, there's like cartoon, patriotic, like
nice.
black and white, like all these
cartoon
different...
one. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's kind of it's just kind of cool and fun. But I just thought it was interesting that like Patrick told me that he couldn't change colors on his pen tool. But we don't get the voice thing on the one. So like Eric can send us like voice stuff, like or like a robot, like there's different sounds and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's just something they're testing the market with, and it's going to be released later for everything or what. But yeah, so if you have an Android, so you could do. But yeah, you could literally do short films with it if you wanted to, and send it to your friends.
Yeah.
And stuff. So
cool. I will definitely have to check that out then. How about you? Week? Anything good, bad, ugly, otherwise?
This week is actually today. It was weird. This week was just kind of its normal week. I kind of got through it, and then just a bunch of stuff. Literally today, like everything kind of fell into place. Like got my paycheck, paid all my bills. Was like, okay, I only have this much. Got to do grocery shopping. Kind of just getting back on track with everything. Adulting, all that fun stuff. And then I'm like, okay, I got the show tonight. Tomorrow I'm gonna clean, do laundry, and everything like that. And then all of a sudden it was just like. Someone's like, oh, yeah, we're going to go here, we're going to pick this up. I'm like, okay, I got to get beer and got this. And then I got the Gears of War 4 game. And then it's like, okay. And then you're like, hey, you want to go out to dinner? I'm like, oh, yeah, that'd be fantastic kind of thing. So it's like all these things, like literally my entire Friday night, which I thought was just going to be one thing, turned into this like event.
Just huge. It got filled. Your calendar got filled quick.
It got filled quick. I enjoyed it because I was like, okay, because usually I come home from work, set up the show, and then I just kind of chill out. Like I'll even try to catch up on an episode of like The Flash and stuff, which I have to do this weekend. No, that's the thing. It's like I get Gears of War 4 where I'm more like, okay, I need to do this stuff first. Because if I don't, I'm just going to be like someone's going to
sucked in.
Pat will probably be like, hey, I'm coming over. I won't look at my phone. Like if he comes over Saturday, we'll sometimes record the Live Shit podcast. But I'll literally just be sitting in my underwear, and be like, Gears of War. It's like, did you shower? I'm like, no. Showers for the week. Yes. It's like, what?
Get lost in it.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, I have to do all this stuff first. So other than that though, it was just a normal week. Nothing too major. Just work is work. It's what I'm waiting for is like, so next week I call it the last week of working.
Okay.
And what I mean by that, because the following week we then are going to have this outing on Thursday. So we leave work early to do this thing for like, hey, you guys are doing a good job. Here's something. Then after that, we do this huge thing for Halloween because I guess our president's birthday is on Halloween.
Oh, okay.
So we always do this huge thing. Like it's always a half day. People show up in costumes. You don't even work. Like you literally come into work, maybe work 2 hours, which no one really does. Everyone checks out all the costumes and stuff like that. And then you do a parade, costume event, talent show. There's like all this stuff that happens that day. Free food. Leave like early, which sucks because it's on a Monday. So then, like, Tuesday, you have to come back.
You have to be back and ready to work.
But after that happens, that's when it comes down to holiday season. And then it's like we're going to have Thanksgiving coming up, Christmas coming up, New Year's coming up, and then finally January is, like, trying to get back into everything. So next week is literally our last week of, like, okay, this is us actually working, and the rest is just fuck right off for the rest of the year.
Everything on the wall, yeah.
So that's what I'm gearing up for, and getting prepared for that. So, which Halloween though, I'm trying to figure out because I want to get a Deadpool costume.
Oh.
So I want to show up as that at work.
Have you looked into it at all? Making or buying?
I found one that looks really legit, but it's really expensive. Ugh. It's like $100. It ranges from $139 to like $2 something, depending on the size.
Yeah.
But that's the one that I want because it's like the movie one. It's the only best one that I have. All the other ones like the weird with the fake muscles, and then like the skin tight one. I'm like, I do not have the body for skin tight right now. But this one looks. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to get that and like the weapons and literally come into work, but not sit at my desk. Sit at somebody else's desk and just pretend to be working.
Oh, nice.
And just watch someone walk by and be like,
and just be in the character.
Yeah, I was planning on it. I would just be all like, how are you? Oh, yeah, I'm working. Yeah, no.
I like it.
I'm trying to work, and you're disrupting my work.
You're disrupting my work right now.
And if you don't mind, then just try to sip coffee with the mask on and just be a complete dick.
Stand there by the water cooler.
Oh, I wish we had water. What right about the low maintenance one is I just find a blonde wig, wear a suit, and get my face orange, and then just be Trump for the entire time. So
that one's too easy though.
The best part is I can literally sit there and just be like, "We're gonna build a wall. This is the best Halloween costume I've ever seen. It's the biggest Halloween. It's the best you've ever. You ever catch the Pikachu? I caught the best Pikachu ever.
Oh yeah, you would be kicked out of that Out League party.
I don't know if I would. I think
everybody would vote for you.
But so that's gearing up for that. Cause but my week was pretty basic. Nothing really exciting happened. So. Other than that, but what I was going to talk about, since you have done, since with 12A, you guys got me into going like, hey, this is movies you can watch. These are television shows we're into and stuff like that. So the new season has started.
Okay.
You said you have watched a couple of shows.
Oh yeah.
So I came up with the idea. I put it in the show notes, not the show notes, but the description of the thing. But what are some things that you've seen that you would say, okay, I want to see where this plays out, or things that you could be like, don't even bother watching? Steven, what are your recommendations for the fall season?
Here are the new fall shows that I've watched at least a single episode of, some of them multiple. Lethal Weapon, The Good Place, Designated Survivor, This Is Us, MacGyver, Burl, and Westworld on HBO.
Okay.
All right, those are all the ones that I've at least watched a few episodes. There's one more, but I couldn't remember what it was, so obviously it wasn't going to be a pick anywhere. But there are some bad ones in here. There's some shit stuff that's come out, and there's only more to come because they have mid-season new shows coming out. Like, did you know that we have apparently run out of TV show ideas that we want to now turn movies into TV shows?
Yes,
Training Day is going to be
Training Day is not going to be one. Okay, yeah, because I know the trend was going back and reviving old TV shows, such as you said, MacGyver. I totally forgot they were doing that.
Yep.
But Lethal Weapon, I remember hearing that a while ago.
Yes.
But yeah, they're literally just taking old movies and going, this should be good as a television show. And the weird part is most of these movies were pretty successful when they came out, and you're kind of like, no, that's one and done. They did their job. Why do I need a series of this?
Yeah.
So as of what do you want to do? Do you want to do the good, the bad, or the why? How? You're like, how can I not make a TV show, but this got me?
Well, you know what? Let's start with the bad. The worst of this whole bunch is MacGyver.
Oh, really? Okay.
And it breaks my heart because I was a huge fan of MacGyver. In fact, leading up to the reboot of MacGyver, I started rewatching the original first season on Netflix. I watched the first couple episodes with my 5-year-old son, and you can watch it because MacGyver doesn't shoot anybody. You know, it's a very PG show, but the new MacGyver is just horrible. The kid who plays MacGyver, his name is Lucas Till.
Okay.
If you haven't seen any trailers for it, he's got long hair almost down to his shoulders, definitely neck length, blonde, and he's just a kid. And my problem is, I can't believe that this kid works for a secret government agency and helps people out all around the world. And they're doing a lot of the CSI-ish type of things. When he's putting something together, it's like duct tape plus H2O this plus this equals this, and they've got the words up on the screen, and so it's very, very CSI kitschy and stuff like that.
Which is funny because only certain shows did that. And I really enjoyed that they did. Actually, no, not a show did that. Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr.
Amazing job.
They did that, and I thought that was such a cool idea. And I was like, okay, and I was like, and that worked. Doing it because now you're like, okay, that's cool, but then if they start, it's kind of like when you saw Mighty Morphin Power Rangers growing up, which we will get into that.
Yes, we do have to talk about that.
But the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers thing was kind of like the same, and no offense to everybody who likes Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, like our shows and stuff like that. What I mean was just like, it was basically, let's fight the monster. Oh, the monster's beating us. Oh, we beat the monsters. Oh, now the monster's big. Oh, now we get the Megazord. But you always had to see the Megazord get constructed every single episode, even though you kind of knew. Now, granted, yes, there might be people who've never, this is their first episode of Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, and that would work out. But if you're literally watching these back-to-back on Netflix, it gets boring really fast.
Really quick, yeah. And I didn't make it past the first episode. I finished the first episode of MacGyver, and there's more of them recorded on my DVR, but I won't watch them. I was so done with it after that first one. And the guy who played Nick Stokes on CSI is a buddy of his, a MacGyver, and I really liked him on CSI back in the day, but no, I just couldn't get into it. It was just a horrible done. It's a CBS show, so unfortunately they'll probably feed it for a few years. But it just, that of the bunch, that is the worst one out there right now.
Okay, so MacGyver. Okay, now lifespan-wise, as we figure this is going to stay, because you said CBS, and what I've also noticed, if I don't like it, it stays.
It stays for some reason.
So how much of a lifespan do you think it's going to get?
I think that this is going to go 3 seasons.
3 seasons?
Yeah, I'm going to give it 3 seasons.
3
is what
seasons?
it's going to go, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the worst in that group.
Right.
All right. What is some? Okay, so that was a bad. Let's. What's about something that you like? I like this, and it's promising. I want to see more.
Okay, so this is going to be the one. This one's shocked and surprised me, and I did not watch it by choice. But This Is Us.
Okay. Now I have not heard of this.
Nobody listening to this show will have heard of this because this is a drama, and this is something my wife said. Hey, my friend Melissa said we should watch this. She really liked it. I'm rolling my eyes thinking, I'm going to stream something on my phone while you watch this. This is such a well-written show.
Okay.
This is the one with Mandy Moore and the guy who played Peter Petrelli in Heroes, and I cannot think of his name.
This is
Milo something.
Is this on CW?
It might be CW, yeah, that's what it is on, I think.
Okay.
But it's This Is Us, and so it's the story of all of these people, and it's one of those things like these are all people and how their lives intertwine with each other.
Okay.
You know, there've been so many movies about this. Well, this is a TV show about this. They do an amazing thing, and I can't talk too much about it because the first episode is like a movie, not in length. It's 45-minute long, whatever. But the story arc is amazing, and what they give you at the very end is just like, oh my gosh, that's what this all was? That's great. It makes you want to watch the second episode.
Okay.
The writing was so good in this.
That's good.
So you were following these 4 people who are all having their 36th birthday.
Okay. Oh wow, I got 4 more years on that.
Oh well,
I could be part of This
You
Is
could be
Us.
a part of this Is Us thing, because and it's all about where they're at in lives and decisions they've made and regrets and all that stuff that you happen to run into when you're in your 30s. Then by the end of it, you realize how all 4 of them are connected, and how all 4 of them are connected is amazing, and it blew my mind because then I was excited about seeing the next episode. But I don't know how they'll make this into an entire season. I will give them credit because I watched the second episode. At the end of the second episode, they have these great reveals that is, wait, what happened? And what's happening is you're seeing multiple generations of people. So at the end of the second episode, this won't give too much away, a grandma and grandpa come to the front door, and you've seen grandma and grandpa when they were younger and just having children 30 years ago.
Oh.
So the son goes to the door and answers, says, hey, Grandma, hey, Miguel. It's not his actual dad. So what happened to the person watching the movie is the TV show, 15 minutes before, you saw this adult as a kid with his parents, and now all of a sudden it's today and his dad's not in the picture at all, but you don't know what happened in that gap because of the way they're telling the story. So it's this great just like how life fell into place, and you're seeing the backstory and the current story at the same time.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It's really, but it is total drama. This would be a second base for a dollar thing if I was still doing it.
Okay. Well,
that's what this is.
I had to look it up because I wasn't sure because when a lot of stuff I've been watching now is on the CW, and I don't have it's not on Hulu anymore because they removed it. But you can get the CW app that's free, and you can watch all the shows for free. Now I don't know how long the shows stay on there, so just try to be current or whatnot. But I looked at This Is Us. It's actually on NBC.
NBC. Okay.
So
All right.
I wasn't sure because I did see something like 2 shows have started on CW besides because basically everything on the CW I watch is it's like supernatural or superhero stuff. Actually, I started telling them they should call it the DCW now.
There you go. Which Supernatural? I've not watched it, but first season just started. So first episode was last night. In fact.
Okay, yeah, for season
Thursday.
12?
Season 12 or 13 now. We're in.
Which I got to catch up because I dropped off
shit.
on season 9.
Oh shit! So I am current, but I am usually never live. Like I'll start watching.
Yeah, I have to watch
things
things because my one buddy was like, "Have you watched the new episode of The Flash?" I'm like, "It's not available yet until now. I can finally watch it." And same with like Supergirl and all that kind of
This
stuff.
last season was great. We found out who God is, and it's wonderful. But yes.
That's, okay, cool. So yeah, I have to definitely catch up on that. Which all these shows are streaming now on Netflix, which I really like. What else? Okay, so
that was my surprise one. I didn't think I was going to like. That
one.
was the wife said, "Hey, we should watch this," and the writing in it is amazing. I'm really enjoying it.
Well, it's
And
funny you say drama,
not
but I
only-
actually can enjoy some drama. Like it doesn't always have to be superhero. Oh, well, technically, all the superhero shows is all fucking drama.
It's drama. That's true. But this isn't a sci-fi. This is like an emotional
Like
drama.
an
That's how I
emotional.
put it.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, so it's worth giving a shot just to see the twist at the end of the first episode. Like this, it would be an amazing movie the way they did that twist, and so that's why I'm kind of worried. This has a.
Now, do you think they're going to do? Now, do you think maybe they might do it like American Horror Story, where this is one story arc and then next season's a completely different kind of?
That I could see them doing with it, yes. And we could talk about American Horror Story later. I've got a lot of opinions on that.
Yeah, I'm still going to catch up on that.
I haven't even watched this season yet, but I love the fact that they took the exact same cast and the same people, and they just wrote a different story every single season. What a genius way to do that. You can kill off and do whatever you want. I was very confused by it because the first season is by far the best season.
I love Murder House.
But then when I watch the second season, I'm like, well, this is what's going on. I'm so lost. I didn't realize that they were writing a different story every time. Now that I get that, perfect. Problem is I haven't finished any of the season because none has drawn me in like the Murder House one.
Yeah, I dropped off with season 2, like the last 2 episodes I didn't see because I was like,
No.
And then everyone said like this is weird because then it comes down to a split because they said the third season, which is like the Covenant, some people really like it, some people don't like it, and then a lot of people love Freak Show. But apparently the one after Freak Show, the Hotel, everyone says that one's really good.
That's the one where I came back to it. Yeah,
okay.
Freak Show I didn't even start watching, and Covenant I watched maybe half of it. The second season I don't remember the name. I watched maybe half of it, but Hotel I watched the whole thing. It was great. The vampires and stuff in it, yeah, great story. And so I'm excited about this season. But anyways, on to other things.
Okay, so next one, so this is what, either a love or a hate, or you want to see where it goes?
So this is one that I think is going to die this season.
Okay.
But I'm enjoying it, and that's The Good Place with Ted Danson and Kristen Bell.
Oh, okay, yeah, I kept seeing stuff for that. Now, again, 2 actors I absolutely love, especially Kristen Bell. She's cute as a bell.
She's so cute and so funny. So this is great. The premise being she's died and she's in heaven.
Oh.
The way they designed heaven is Ted Danson... angels design pockets of heaven. And so when you get to heaven, this is the house that you are supposed to be with. Your true soulmate is here with you in heaven too. No matter where they're at in the world. It can be somebody you would not have expected, but you're just a soulmate. You click and you just do what you love for the rest of your life. So she is in heaven, and Ted Danson created this heaven. He's an angel god, and this is his first one he's ever created. Well, he made a mistake, and you find that out towards the end of the first episode because Kristen Bell was not supposed to be in heaven. She was supposed to go to the bad place.
Oh.
So somehow, and she knows this right away because the way he's talking and showing things, she's like, this is not me, this is not. But she's keeping her mouth shut because she's in the good place and she wants to stay.
Oh, that's
so she tries to fake being good, and the person who is her soulmate isn't actually her soulmate. It's the person who was supposed to be their soulmate, and she gets him to help her be a good person so she can stay in this good place. So there's some great comedy to it,
cool.
and it's neat. And this what they made of heaven. Ted Danson's great in it.
Okay, well that's the thing. Like, I had no idea what the concept was about, but now I'm on board.
Yeah.
I just kept seeing like the things pop up on my Hulu. They're like, oh, The Good Place. I'm like, I like those 2 actors, but I'm like, I have other stuff that I need to catch up on, so I'll jump into it. But now that you told me that, I'm fucked. I'm like, all right.
It's good. They had a lot of fun with the heaven thing and what it's actually about. And
Okay, that's kind of cool.
So
Okay,
Ted Danson created this particular heaven.
Okay, so you have a feeling this is not going to last. Do you think it will at least last a season?
I think it'll last a season, but I mean, except for like New Girl, there's not been anything I've gotten into that, they all die within a season. I feel like comedies just do not last nowadays like they did a decade ago.
Yeah, because it was like the last long-running comedy that's recent was probably How I Met Your Mother.
Mm-hmm.
And then, now Good Girl, New Girl. Good Girl.
Yeah.
I just put Good Place and New Girl together I just made my own show, Good Girl. Don't take it, NBC.
No.
Now that's like what? It's on the 5th season now? The 6th season? I didn't even think it was going to last that long either. So but Fox is very weird.
Oh my
Fox
God,
will keep stuff. That's what I hate. Fox will cancel stuff that's freaking brilliant. We were just talking about The Tick.
Yep.
Tick, the original run of The Tick, brilliant, hilarious. I was loving to see where the next season was going to go. Fox gets rid of it, and then they keep other shows on there. Like, okay, Bones. I've seen a few episodes of Bones.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, and I've seen sporadic ones. Like, I don't even know story arcs. Like, I'm just seeing single episodes that somebody has recorded if I was hanging out with them or something like that.
Right.
It's interesting, but then it gets to a certain point where I'm like,
you're coming up on a 10th season. You can only dig up so many bones.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do with it. Yeah.
So, and to me, I think as much as Lost was a great series and a poor ending, but they at least knew, okay, this is how it's starting. This is how it's going to end, and we just need to do filler, which is actually the best way to do a lot of series. Like, I'm curious because Archer is going to be coming up. Like, they said at season 10 they're done. It's going to be over.
Oh, okay.
But that's a cartoon show that has so much steam, so much potential, so much stuff to do. It's like, okay, well, how are you going to end this? Like, what's your ending? Like, I'm curious to see what that is. And it's like, it's the same thing with The Simpsons or any of these things that are going to come to a close at some point in their life. It's like, how are you going to end it? Now, hopefully, The Simpsons, I thought they were going to do it. Like, he always said he wanted to end it with a movie. Now, Granted, if they close out the next season, their series finale, and then they ended with a big, huge movie,
Sure.
I think that'd be the best way to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of these. But then there's certain things that like you want to see where it's going. Like, what was it? Great. It was on ABC. God, what was it like? I want to say Flashpoint, but I know that's not it. Flashback, Flash Forward.
Flash Forward was a show on
Yes.
on ABC, I think. Yeah.
That was a great show. It had its problems, but everything. But then how they ended that first season, and they weren't getting a second season. How it ended because it did another Flash Forward, and you were like, "What the fuck is going on?" And you're like,
But you'll never ever find out.
I will never find out.
So
So you're just-
2010, I just looked up. Yeah, that was Flash Forward. I remember.
Yeah, it was a really good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good show. It was one of those things that I actually waited for. Like most of the stuff, I don't watch real time. I
Right.
waited for it to record and watch. Like this is one of those ones that I sat down and watched real time.
You watch it live. Yeah.
Yeah, it was nuts. So that's what I always hate. Okay, so Good Place. So hopefully it lasts. This is the weird part. It's gotten really good reviews though.
Yeah, it has, and so there's a good chance. It's just anytime you've got, I feel like when you've got a really big name, and you've got two big names in this thing, I just don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I do hope it does because it has been enjoyable. It's got some good laughs in it.
Maybe we'll do like a Community thing where they get 6 seasons in a movie.
And then a movie.
Because I love Community.
Yeah, no, that was great. Well, I like it's Netflix does a great thing. I don't know if you've watched Bloodline. Bloodline is a really good.
My sister was talking about that.
I mean, intense. Like we're talking like we're murdering our people drama type of thing.
Yeah, my
Drugs
sister.
and stuff.
Yeah, because
Oh
my sister was saying it's like a
God.
family, and then she was literally going like, "Yeah, this guy's like you," and it's like, and my sister actually explained it. She goes, "Spoiler alert! I haven't seen it yet."
Okay.
So I have to watch it. But she's like, "So it's like you and me have to go kill our oldest brother." Like,
That's it. No shit. And hide the body.
That's how she
yeah.
was selling it to me. I was like, "What?"
What?
Yeah. I'm like,
yeah.
"Yes, I know we've talked about this many times, but they finally made a series." Like,
So they made serious about my family. What?
Yeah.
Netflix is canceling it, but they get a third season to cancel it. So they have
They're
a
gonna wrap it
full
up, okay.
season. They're getting a chance to wrap it up, and that's what I love about like the Netflix and Amazon and Hulu's of the world is I'm going to be able to watch because I mean pins and needles at the end of the second season, and so I'm going to be able to watch this third season, know it's the end, and know that they had a chance to write it and wrap it up how they wanted to.
see, that's what I always think is gonna, because that's happened with House. House ran for 10 seasons. I absolutely loved House. Hugh Laurie was perfect, but I felt like their last season, like I think they felt like they knew they were going to get another season to wrap everything up, but then Fox was like, "Nope, this is your last season." So how it
same.
kind of ended was kind of like it wasn't like an epic
Right.
ending, and you're kind of like,
Oh
kind
shit!
of
We
thing.
got a month now. We just got told we're canceled. We got to wrap everything up.
Yeah,
and
it was.
get throw together. Yeah.
It kind of
Yeah.
felt like that, and I kind of hate that kind of crap. So that's why I lean more towards like the Netflix thing. Like they said, like they shoot everything and then they drop it.
Yep.
It's not like, oh, here's 4 episodes of Luke Cage and then got canceled. Like they
No,
just and
no.
Netflix literally will pick up anything. I mean, Stranger Things.
Well, yeah.
Like that was shopped around for like 20.
God.
That was shopped around for 20 to 25 networks. Everyone said no.
So great. Speaking of which, this is way off the topic, but whatever. What the fuck? FanFest? Are you going at all? next
Yeah, I
weekend?
got my passes.
Okay, I'm going to probably go Sunday strictly just to see what's her name from
11?
11 and
the
David
sheriff,
Harbour.
yeah.
The sheriff, David Harbour. That's what I was saying. Because they're going to be there together on Sunday at FanFest at Phoenix FanFest. So I'm totally going.
How much you want to bet everyone's bringing a box of Egos for her to sign?
Oh, totally. She's going to be signing, if she hasn't already, signing so many Egos. Yes.
But yeah,
Agreed.
But, speaking of which, I think we brought it up to you. I don't know if you watched it yet. It is on Netflix, and I think the season 3 is going to be dropping next week, next Friday, I believe, or next Saturday. Black Mirror.
No, I have not watched it. It was a BBC one, right?
Yeah, it was a BBC
Yes.
one. Netflix picked it up. They're releasing 3rd season. Like the 2 seasons are streaming now, and I think they're giving us 6 episodes this season, which usually it's only 3 episodes a season.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking. Matthew and I are stoked for that. We can't wait for that. So yeah, I highly ever get a chance sit
Okay.
down and start watching, because literally they're like movies. They're little short movies because they're
Right.
long episodes,
Mhm.
but 3 episodes a series. Only 2 seasons are out right now. And then you probably have to go online to find the Christmas special, and that has John Hamm in it.
Okay.
And he's
Oh,
freaking
man.
good in that. But yeah, highly recommend. It's like basically it's like a brand new Twilight Zone, but it's more like futuristic like tech stuff
Okay.
that goes into it. So highly recommended. I'm looking forward to season 3. I'm pretty sure Matthew and I are just going to dive into that and just talk about it for the next couple of weeks. But yeah, that's like that's what I also kind of like when Netflix picks stuff up and you're like, okay, cool, kind of thing. Okay, so
So what's going to happen? Let's
it's a
see.
good place.
Designated Survivor. Let's talk about Kiefer Sutherland and how much of a pussy he is on this new TV show.
Wait, what?
Designated Survivor.
Okay, so is the CSI like done with?
CSI?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's done. Well, it's done with. So Kiefer Sutherland.
Looks like I gotta survive. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it is done with. But no, so Kiefer Sutherland of 24 fame.
Oh, Kiefer. So I'm thinking of
Donald Sutherland or no, not
David Caruso. That's what I was
yes.
saying. Never mind.
No,
Okay, so
sorry, totally different.
Keith Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland, 24 fame, badass in that, so great. This Designated Survivor, Lost Boys, yes, let's go back to Good Vampire.
Michael.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
In Designated Survivor, the country, anytime the government gets together, there's one person that's set aside outside the building, and so the Capitol gets bombed, and House, Representatives, State, Senate, everybody's dead.
Okay.
Except for Kiefer Sutherland, and he was like the leader of the Housing and Urban Development or something like that. Like he was 11th or 12th in line to be president.
Oh, jeez.
And now he's president.
Okay.
And so it's him figuring this shit out. Well, we're on the 3rd episode now, and the only reason we're watching is because my wife was a huge 24 fan, so she loves Kiefer. But he finally became a little bit of a badass in this, but he's been just such a wuss. Like the glasses, and everybody's just beating him up and everything, and he's like, this woe is me, I didn't really want to be president, but here I am being president, I was going to quit my job, and blah, 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 and all this stuff, and I'm like, man, I just cannot get into this at all.
That's kind of, yeah, because considering how he played like this like badass at this whole like he's like, you kidnapped my daughter, I freaking burned your village to the like even to like the
you're expecting that. I mean, when you said terrorists blow up the Capitol building, we think like go after them, and
you gave me a flat tire, your entire season. What? That was my fault. It was a nail on the road. Oh,
Yeah.
my bad. Like,
no.
yeah, he was a guy. Well, that was the thing. They made it. That's another thing now that I hear about it, because I know him now. Also, he's Solid Snake in the Metal Gear Solid. Like, he's the voice of him, and it's like another badass, like a guy you don't want to fuck with.
Right.
And now you're telling me this. I'm like, oh shit.
You watch that first episode, and you'll see it. He's just this whiny kind of guy. He finally got some balls in the 3rd episode and starts telling people how it is and standing up on his own type of thing. And we'll see. Maybe they'll build out to it. I'll be finishing it only because my wife's a
okay. Now,
fan,
question for this now, but does he play a good pussy? I guess
he does. No,
so he
can do both. He is a good actor. I will totally give him that. But anybody who's looking to watch this because they know it from 24 is going to be disappointed.
Okay.
And that's so. And it's a decent show. I could care less if it gets picked up or not. I'm not going to,
Now, what is this one on? Is this on Fox or?
Oh, let me see here. Yeah, Designated Survivor. See, everything has been like NBC and CBS has been all these new shows all of a sudden.
Fox, if you think about it, Fox has
ABC. Yeah.
Fox has their big showrunner right now. Well, Fox has Animation Domination. Sunday nights they have all that stuff, and then they have the New Girl, which is thing. They probably still have Bones going on right now. So they really haven't had any room for new shows, I think. And if any new shows did appear last year, I don't even remember. Oh, Gotham is probably like one of their biggest ones now, season 3. But
they're hanging into a lot of stuff that's in multiple seasons now. Yeah, we're ABC, CBS, NBC. They canceled so much that now they're picking up all this.
They have to pick up all this stuff.
Yeah. Because so Bull, which did you ever watch any NCIS or anything like that?
Maybe once or twice, but anyways.
I'm not up to speed, but I do know that the Michael Reveley character in this last one left the show, and he didn't get killed off, so he's got the chance of coming back. But he's in his own show now called Bull, and it is a very fascinating first episode. But this isn't going to last long because every episode's the same thing. I'm not seeing yet an overall story arc that can go throughout the whole thing. So pretty much he runs this company that is he's not a lawyer, but he works with the people in court. Oh my God, I am totally blinking on the jury. Thank you, jury duty, Steve. Jeez.
Okay.
So he fixes juries, and what it is he takes an entire jury panel, and he has this whole setup where he will do mock trials to figure out exactly what type of people you want on your jury, and then he'll work with the lawyer when they're doing jury selection, and he'll let the lawyer know who he needs to pick so that they get exactly the type of jury they want. So very cool mind game science type of thing, and the type of people you want depending. I don't know. My wife is an attorney, so I should ask her and talk to her about this.
Because this is the first time I've ever heard of something like that. I'm like, it's a clever idea, but now I'm like, wait, does this actually happen?
Well, I mean, if you've never ever done jury duty, if anybody ever has, you do get selected, and they do ask you specific questions that you can say yes or no to,
Yes.
whatever, and they can decide if they want you or not based on those questions.
Oh, which sucked so hard. So speaking of jury duty, so I usually did like the normal traffic ones. I always got let go or whatnot, from jury duty. But one I actually went to the Supreme Court out here.
Oh, shit.
I think it's the Supreme Court or the whatever, but it was literally a murder trial.
Oh.
And I was kind of hoping I was still unemployed at that time because I really wanted to be on it.
It'd be fascinating.
But
to be on
I
murder
just
trial.
got like a temp job, and I'm like, I need to pay bills and everything like that. But it was just all like, and I kind of told him, I was like, yeah, I got to work, and I really can't miss work because I don't get paid or anything like that. But it was just all like, oh, fuck, I would have loved to have been on
That
a
would
murder
have been,
trial.
it would have been fascinating to be on that.
Would have
yeah.
been tight.
Like, the one I was on lasted like 3 days, and it was this stupid somebody suing somebody else for a hit and run type of thing.
Yeah.
It was just dumb. But anyways, yes, and so that's what he does. So he'll find a client will come to him, or he'll find a client. The second episode was pilot, and he wanted to represent the pilot because it wasn't her fault the plane crashed type of thing. But they put together this entire fake jury, and they run an entire court system through this fake jury to try and figure out exactly who's going to be in favor of his client.
Okay.
And then when the real jury selection happens, he lets this judge know, or he'll sit in there and, hey, yeah, you want this person, you don't want this person. And,
Oh, okay.
and then they watch, but it's really cool, really techie type of thing in your mind. So it's neat, but that's what every episode is.
Okay, but there's no like,
There's no overall
there's not like something at the end of the
story.
episode like he gets a letter and it's all like, I know what you've been doing.
Right,
Or like,
yeah.
oh, shit,
They've hinted a little bit at some of his employees having a bit of a backstory, but not enough that they're showing it all.
Okay, yeah.
And so it's very much, it's a CSI thing, or an NCIS thing, where it's this is the crime of the day type of thing.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Okay.
So
So
it's good, but it probably isn't going to last for a whole season there.
Well, that was like Lie to Me,
Yeah.
that show.
Yeah.
Where the guy
Which was totally fascinating, cool reading, all the facial tics.
and I think
everything else,
it went for 2 seasons, and then again, boom, it's like we can't do much with it.
Yeah,
kind
can't do
of
anything
thing.
more.
So it's fascinating. Okay, so we have Bull.
All right. My top 2 favorite
2.
shows.
All right.
Number 2 is Lethal Weapon, believe it or not.
Okay, and now surprisingly, when I heard it was being made, to me I was like, okay, I've seen the movies and everything like that. They want to make a series, but apparently a lot of people said it's actually really enjoyable. Now that's one of the what's his face, Wayne brothers. Right?
Yeah, Damon Wayans is in it, and then the Clayne Crawford's the white guy in it, and it is a great buddy cop. And the nice thing is that we're on our 4th episode now, and I haven't seen the 4th episode yet, but every episode has increased in how good it is. Like the first episode's kind of like, all right, this is good. We're introducing the characters when Riggs and Martin when they first get together. But the buddy cop stuff in it is so great. And Damon Wayans plays a great straight guy in it.
Oh, wow.
Man, it's so good. And Clayne Crawford, he's just so off the wall as
Okay, and that's just on Fox.
It's
right?
on Fox,
Okay,
which scares me. But it's probably been canceled in the season.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm in love with this.
Okay,
It is good, funny. I can rewatch an episode.
I want to check that out now.
Great, great shooting, everything type of scenes, just like the movies were. But so this is a very good cop.
Like a nice little episodic kind of like.
Yeah.
Now, is there a main story arc going on with this?
It is, and
Okay,
that's what's interesting. And what a lot of people don't know is that with the main story arc, there are different things going on with Martin and Riggs that they don't necessarily know about each other. And this is their first time as a partner, so they're figuring things out. It's got a really good storyline going to it, and I'm fascinated in it. But even if it didn't have that storyline to it, I would still love it just for the funny buddy cop stuff that goes on.
Okay.
I'm trying to look right now just because I want to see.
Now, do they put those on back to back with Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
I don't know because I watch it on Hulu.
I was just saying, I know Brooklyn
yeah.
Nine-Nine is also on Fox as well,
Right.
and everything like that. And that's another one of
That's
the
another
shows
one,
that's
yeah.
lasted a pretty long time.
No,
and
that's
that
true.
sucked
I
too
didn't think it would.
because I dropped off. Like I thought it was good. I think I watched maybe the first season and a little bit of the second season, and then I just kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
Like that's the same thing happened to New Girl. Like I have everything on Hulu, and which is weird because Fox actually keeps everything. Like CW had this thing where like it would just remove episodes.
Oh, okay.
Like I was literally watching The Flash, and it literally I was watching Legends of Tomorrow, and I went to another episode, and all of a sudden I'm like, I don't remember any of this happening, and then I went back and realized that it's like episode 5, 6, they removed 7, but they kept 8, 9, and 10, and I'm like, why?
What?
So it was really weird. So I had to actually wait for it to get released on Netflix, go back and watch it,
And
go,
watch that.
oh, okay, that's what's
what
going
happened.
on.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so with Martin Riggs' character, there's a great behind-the-scenes type of thing going on because you don't realize that his father-in-law is actually his boss's boss, and that's the whole reason why Martin Riggs still has a job, even though half of Los Angeles is blowing up around him and stuff like that. So there are some cool stories there that are going on, but it really is just about the buddy cop thing that keeps it really
Okay, that's cool.
So,
okay, I'll definitely check that out. Okay, Lethal Weapon.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
that's my favorite. And then if you have HBO, Westworld, I am so in love with.
Yes,
I mean, if we can combine the robots and the Western into one thing, I mean, this is perfect.
Yes. Now, I remember when this first was announced to be a series on HBO, I got excited, and then people were like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you've never seen... Oh, first off, it's the book, and then second of all, like, I never read the book, but I did see the original film and some of that, which is funny because it's like the guy who's in it who plays the cyborg is literally the guy from The King and I.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what? But yeah, no, I was super stoked. And I remember, I think it was at the movies. I forget what I was seeing, but all of a sudden there was a trailer, and it was for, no, that was it. I was watching, I was finally catching up on True Detective because I've never seen any of it.
Oh, okay.
So I'm watching the first season. I heard the second season is like, man. But so watching the first season, that was one of the previews that came up, and I was like, oh shit, when does this start? Because I have HBO. So I was like, yeah, so I gotta dive into that.
Yeah, definitely dive into it. And you can tell, so the original movie was written and directed by Michael Crichton. So you could tell in this Westworld thing that Michael Crichton's always had this thing for, the worlds and what they are. And so that you can see the Jurassic Park of it because this is what they've created. It's, it's a little bit futuristic as far as the robotics go, but it's a Disney World for adults. It's an actual huge. It's not like you're in a virtual reality thing. You're riding a train into this small town, and you're just around a bunch of robots. And some of the other people are also humans because they're all in this game as it is. But what's so fascinating and great about this is you don't necessarily know who's bad or who's good in this, whether it's somebody that's writing the story or creating the robots or the robots themselves or the people in it. And it really is showing like some of the worst in humanity. I mean, because think about it. If you're in a fake town in the Wild West and you know you can't die and it's just robots all around you, I mean, it's going to bring out the worst of you. You're just going to shoot somebody to shoot somebody, or you're just going to rape somebody to rape somebody, or just these horrific things that it really pulls out the worst in you. And that's what's kind of fascinating about this. There's a neat character, British accent, that he works on the real side of it. He writes the stories. So the way that this is every interaction you have in the Westworld can change into a story for you. So I very much envision this as if you were really in Skyrim, in an open world area.
Oh shit, yeah.
When you, in the second episode, when the guy's first walking into the small town, because you start in a center town, and the further away from the main town you go, the harder, the more horrific, more challenging it gets, is what it is. So if you stay in that small town, no big deal. You get your bar and all this stuff. And but when you're walking by, there's these 4 or 5 Civil War guys, and they're talking about signing up for the war and stuff like that. And it's kind of like that's what a quest would be like if you were in a real life MMO or something. And I was thinking about it, I was like, wow, this is kind of fascinating. This would be like if you were wandering around Skyrim. And that's exactly what this is like. So it's really, really neat. What they've done with it. I'm totally fascinated. I don't know if they could do more than a season in it because it's based off of a movie, and the way that they're going now, I could see them wrapping it all up in one season and it being amazing wrapping it up. But
now I remember rumors about it because I think they touched upon it. I could be wrong in the book or in the movie, but they did talk about like there is Westworld, but then there's also like Samurai World and like stuff like that. Now, do you think they might do that with the seasons where Westworld is this one, and then next season's Space World or something like that.
And I could see them doing that, and they do touch on that in the first episode because one of the robots has this little Twitch type thing, and they're constantly doing updates to the robots to make them more and more perfect. And this most recent update causes some issue with about 10% of the robots in the world, and one of the robots starts quoting things which they realized was from a previous program he was part of, where he was part of a horror thing where he was a leader of a cult. Is what it was. So they do hint on these other worlds being out there, not just Westworld.
That's
so yes, I could see them doing a horror world or some other world or something like that.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. So that was definitely a thing that popped up on my radar that I'm like, I definitely need to watch this on HBO. So
and Ed Harris, that's who I was trying to remember.
Yes.
Ed Harris is like, he's been in Westworld going on 30 years now. Like, because you can go back and you can play the game, and so this most recent time he went into it, he's told himself he's never going back out again, and he's going to try and figure it out and go as far as he can in this game. So, like, he's killing people, he's scalping people, he's doing all of this crazy stuff, but he's just this badass guy. But he wants to figure out the game because he thinks there is an actual game to this, and there's an end game to it. It's not just about getting away from reality for a night or two or something like that. He's planning on living the rest of his life in Westworld.
He's
now.
basically finishing the game. It's not like when you finish. Actually, going back to Skyrim, which is funny that you bring that up because the remaster is actually going to be released in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Yep.
Which I'm like, I already played it, but I'm going to play it again because it looks fucking gorgeous. But yeah, it's like the thing. Once you complete everything in Skyrim, I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff to do, but there's no like anything after it. Like, there's no other stories after you finish everything. There's it's like, yeah, I can build houses, I can do all this stuff, but it's like once I'm done with all this stuff, it's like, what do you do? And that was the same thing that happened with Fable. Fable is another one of those kind of games where like you pretty much complete all the quests, and then I literally got to a point where I'm like, I'm just gonna do whatever the hell I want because I'm like, I became like this all powerful being.
Right.
So you literally, it's like I started like I had a wife, and then I cheated on her with like a bunch of prostitutes, and then like this guy tries to blackmail me. He's like, I'm gonna tell your wife. I'm like, fuck you. So I kill him, but then my wife leaves anyway, and then I just like leave my kids or what. Like I'm like I was evil in the game. What do you expect me to like kind of thing? You know, but that is interesting. Okay, so Westworld, I'll probably definitely check it out this weekend.
And that's how it is. It's like you could play an evil person. There's this one kid who in the second episode he goes in and he's very nice and timid and he's helping the stranger on the street. So it's how you play your character in the game.
That's where I like this.
So it's so fascinating. So that's my favorite. Yeah, for sure.
I like the idea about this. Okay, so
that's what I have for the new fall shows so far.
Okay.
Yeah. I did watch the first episode of Luke Cage.
Yes, we'll. I figure what we can do. We'll take a short little break. And then we'll dive into a little bit of Luke Cage because I already finished the entire season, and then I can try to figure out. I can talk about a little bit of the CW stuff, which I think if you're big into the Marvel stuff right now, I do think like a lot of those DCW shows, which I'm calling, I think there's probably at least 3 of those shows you'd probably really enjoy because you're like me, you did not like Arrow. No. But what I would recommend you watch is Flash. Okay. Start with Flash, and if you really enjoy Flash, then I would say step into the other ones. Cool. Because Flash was like my point into it because I was like, I really like the Flash, I like this character, and just everything they bring to that show. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a small break. So Matthew isn't here because this is going to be Steve's Crap Music Fest because apparently every time I play music on this show, no one likes it. But it's brought to you by Revenge Lover Designs, Illustrations, Lines, Your Personalities. For samples and inquiries, please visit RevengeLover.com. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit, where's my, I don't have a shuffle button. Weird. Let's see, we'll just go with this. And then play. So we'll be back after this short break.
A nerd, grew up in the suburbs. Nothing that ever went wrong. I made it up in this song. I talk about the hood. I say stuff like it's all good. Tell people I'm down with all the cool kids downtown when I've never even been there. How many people want to kick some ass? I do. And how many people are sick of holding it back? Well, I am too tough down. Sensitive artist, perpetrating like I am the hardest. So spin your cap around to the back. You think you rhyme, but you can't rap. Loosen that strap a little more till your axe hits the floor. Flip off your fans, make them cheer. Try to look sincere. Anger's today's fashion, so sing another song about bashing someone's head in. Wanna kick some ass? I do. But how many people sick of holding it back? Well, I am too tough down. Lay out a finger on her. She's mine and I still want her. If you put your hands upon her, you're a gunner. And how many people sick of holding it back? I am. How many people wanna kick some ass? I would if I could, but I'm really just a sensitive artist, perpetrating like I am the hardest, acting like I'm not the smartest. I'm really just a sensitive artist. And what you gonna do when you think of holding it back? Well, I think I'll kick some ass. How many people wanna kick some ass? I would if I could, but I'm feeling just a sensitive artist, perpetrating like I am the hardest, acting like I'm not the smartest. I'm really just a sensitive artist. Artist. That's it.
I fall asleep by the telephone. It's 2 o'clock and I'm waiting up alone. Tell me, where have you been? I found a note with another name. You blow a kiss, but it just don't feel the same. 'Cause I can feel that you're gone. I can't bite my tongue forever while you try to play it cool. You can hide behind your stories, but don't take me for a fool. You can tell me that there's nobody else, but I feel it. You can tell me that you're home by yourself, but I see it. You can look into my eyes and pretend all you want, but I know you're lonely, sister. Lie. It's nothing but a lie. You look so innocent, but the guilt in your voice gives you away. Yeah, you know what I mean. How does it feel when you kiss, when you know that I trust you? And do you think about me when he fucks you? Could you be more obscene? So don't try to say you're sorry or try to make it right. And don't waste your breath because it's too late. It's too late. You can tell me that there's nobody else. You can tell me that you're home by yourself. You can look into my eyes and pretend all you want, but I know
And I swear it's the last time, and I swear it's my last try. And we'll walk in circles around this whole block, walk on the cracks on the same old sidewalks. And we'll talk about leaving town, yeah, we'll talk about leaving. I swear it's the last time, and I swear it's my last try. We rode across that bridge all night, we talked our way through city lights, traced all the lines, we're killing time under those buzzing signs, from downtown to anywhere but here. Tonight, yeah, I swear, to these rooftops, and just hope that God will never stop. And I swear it's the last time, and I swear it's my last try. And we're walking cycles around this whole block, up on the cracks of the same old sidewalk. And we'll talk about leaving town, and we'll talk about leaving. I swear it's the last time, and I swear it's my last try. Yeah. We drove around this place all night, past closed signs and familiar sights. We're moving by, passing time, counting those center lines, with 20,000 lives left to go, and lead us somewhere I don't know. It might be the time that we leave the sound behind. And I swear it's the last time, and I swear it's my last try. And we're walking circles around this whole block, walk on the cracks of the same old sidewalk. And we'll talk about leaving town, and we'll talk about leaving. I swear it's the last time, and I swear it's my last try. And there's been a few times that we thought it felt right to take the westbound signs and just leave town tonight. And I swear it's the last time, and I swear it's my last try. And we're walking cycles around this whole block, up on the cracks of the same old sidewalk. And we'll talk about leaving town, and we'll talk about leaving. I swear it's the last time, and I swear it's my last try. And I swear it's my last try. And we'll talk about leaving town, and we'll talk about leaving town.
And we are back. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that little break. We do have a couple more things before we're going to wrap this show up. But you've only seen the first episode, so we'll just talk a little bit about that. But yeah, Luke Cage is out. Speaking of Luke Cage,
Yeah, I've only seen the first episode, and while you're doing what you're doing over there, typing away with those fast fingers, I'm into it way more than I was into Jessica Jones after its first episode, and I still gave Jessica Jones the whole entire season, mainly because the villain was just so fucking amazing. But I'm very excited about this. I'm excited about the characters, Pops and Shades and Cottonmouth.
Yeah, so it's really kind of cool. Like, we were just talking a little bit about the music. Music's on point, and you can actually listen to the entire album. I think they even released the vinyl of it, but all the tracks that are on that season, they released it on Spotify.
Oh, okay.
So I just literally pulled that up because a lot of the stuff is really good. Now, a big thing I was thinking about, they dropped the N word a lot, and what was so unique about that was the fact that this is the very first Netflix Marvel show that literally in the beginning of the show says Netflix production and ABC production. Mm-hmm. So, as we talked about, I think ABC is realizing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that's why I think they brought Ghost Rider into the mix this season, it's not doing well anymore and no one can give a shit. So they're doing everything they can. So I don't know if any of these characters are going to cross over into that ABC universe. Because there was a hint that Punisher might be showing up at the end of this season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, again, that's a rumor, that's a speculation, we don't know yet. But so first season, I will have to say this: first episode is kind of slow.
Of Luke Cage?
To me, because like...
Oh, yeah, well, because there's not a huge epic action thing until the last 2 minutes of it, when he's beating up all the guys in the apartment complex.
Yeah, in the apartment complex, which it not only works, like, it builds up to that moment, and then he does it, and then you're kind of like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
Like, which I thought was really good. Like, I mean, Jessica Jones, I think, had the aspect of, like, the mystery, like, what's going on, this kind of stuff. So that kind of, like, pulled me in, and you're trying to figure out who, Kilgrave is. And all that kind of stuff, and then but Daredevil, at least Daredevil had all those fighting sequences, and that's what I actually have to say. Like, after watching like the Daredevil fight sequences, Jessica Jones, like all their fight sequences are so different, and that's actually what I'm surprised with when we get Iron Fist. You think it's going to be a lot like Daredevil fighting style, but then he also has like his power that he can just break through walls and shit like that. So it's going to be like it's going to be this weird dynamic when all these people get together.
Well, I'm fascinated by all of this because except for Daredevil, I don't know the first thing about Luke Cage, Iron Fist, or Jessica Jones. So these are the first times I'm being introduced to these characters. So it's all just brand new to me. So it's really cool and exciting, and I like it. It's getting me more into wanting to read comic books and get into more of their backstories of certain characters and stuff like that. And the reason I'm liking Luke Cage right now is because there are so many characters I'm interested in. I'm interested in Cottonmouth and his cousin's backstory. I'm into Pop's backstory and Shades, because you could tell they all know each other somehow, or they've all interacted. And
that's what I thought was really cool. Like all these characters, villains, and everybody in the show all are intertwined in some way. And then you do find out, like, it's so weird, like, there's like, I think it's like episode 6, like not giving anything away, but something happens in episode 6 and you kind of sit there going like, whoa, this is like a game changer. It was kind of like when you first got to see Wilson Fisk flip out in Daredevil. It's like one of those moments where you're like, okay, this changes the entire dynamic of this entire show right now. And like, you were already on board with the show.
Right.
And then it changed, and it doesn't change like for the worse. It just gets like, oh, what's going to happen now?
What's next?
They did a really good job with Luke Cage in this.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, especially there's so many episodes. There's
I've only seen the first one, so don't kill it for me.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, there's certain things that I don't want to ruin. That's why I can't. That's why it's kind of good that I can't remember what episodes this stuff happens in.
Oh, sure.
So, but I'm pretty sure I will get a text from you, probably going like, "Oh, I know what you're talking about."
Because my plan is to binge watch tomorrow, so Saturday is going to be a binge watching day. That's for sure.
But I haven't even talked to anybody about it yet because no one has seen it. I'm like the only one that I know of that has binged through it.
The whole thing.
Yeah, like my buddy Kyle on the Longbox has. Hopefully he's watched it all, but he was just all like, "Oh, you're farther than me." I'm like, "Oh, why? Because I finished it?" He's like, "Oh, you finished it?" Like, he was very blown away with me.
What?
I'm like, "You have no idea, dude.
How many episodes is it?
It's 13 episodes. It's pretty much like everything else right now.
All right.
And great story arc. And it's so even that last episode is just like everything is just it's just really good. So look forward to it.
Okay.
That's why I'm being very bleak about it because because I happen to be with Doctor Who. I actually now am more ahead of Doctor Who than most of the people who already were into Doctor Who.
Oh my god.
So I dropped some stuff with Matthew and I was like, oh shit. I felt bad because I'm like, I didn't, because a lot of people did not, surprising for me, a lot of people did not spoil a lot of stuff for Doctor Who. And I learned things, and then I'm even asking questions that people who have been Whovians are going like, I didn't even think of that. Like, what? That's okay.
A totally different angle you're coming from.
That's actually why I thought about doing a Doctor Who podcast where we had like veterans and then me seeing it for the first time and talking about stuff. So I don't know if that's ever going to happen.
Yeah, but that's interesting standpoint, just like what you mentioned with the 6-year-old earlier, watching Jaws. Like, when you're watching something from a very different decade or age group or, different world, have a totally different take on the same exact thing.
But I highly recommend Luke Cage, and of course I'm trying to get Steven into, because I know he was turned off by the Arrow just like me, but definitely try The Flash. If you don't, I'll be surprised. If you don't like The Flash, then don't ever listen to any of my recommendations ever again.
Well, now that you told me Mark Hamill is in it, I think I'm going to really enjoy it. I definitely am excited about it.
He's in an episode in the first season, episode in the other season, but they do so many things with the DC comic universe that you're just kind of going like, I want the movies to get there. Like, they have the building blocks, but you're just like, they're doing it already, here.
In the TV, and that's what I was going to ask, is it going to get me excited for the movies that are coming out, like wanting, I need more of this? And
yes, because like literally after finally getting like the 2 DC movies this summer, like the Batman v Superman. Oh, and someone said something on a podcast that I listened to that I didn't even think with Batman v Superman.
Okay.
Now you guys can take this how it is and everything. The whole like, oh, your mother's the same mother as mine and everything. Someone said something. I go, I did not even think about it that way, and now I look at that entire scene completely different. So when he's about to kill Superman, and Superman's like, all right, just go ahead and kill me. Just make sure my mother doesn't die, Martha. And he sits there and goes, wait, why did you say that name?
Why did you say that name? Yeah.
That was the first time Batman saw Superman as a human. Because the entire time he's thinking this guy's an alien, he has nobody here on the planet Earth that he cares about, and that was the first time that it made him humanize. And if you think about what Batman's doing throughout the entire movie, like he's already lost a Robin. Mm-hmm. He's already in this stage of like every villain has to die. That's why we have that Batman that we is. That's why I'm thinking like with that standpoint and everything turning over in Batman v Superman, that's why Justice League, I think Batman's no longer going to be killing people anymore because he's realizing, okay, there's a lot of things that are bigger than me right now, and I just can't keep taking out my vengeance on other people. Like, so, because I'm thinking, like, well, that Batman we saw was basically the Batman that's been beaten down, broken, destroyed, and just like, I can't let people live anymore, kind of thing. And then that, with the Superman thing changing his entire outlook, because if you think about it, he visits, Lex Luthor in prison, and he's like, I could pretty much have murdered Lex Luthor right then and there. Right. But he just threatened him again. He went back to classic Batman. You're kind of like, okay. Mm-hmm. So that when someone's mentioned that on a podcast, I was kind of like, I had never even looked at it like that before. Yes, granted, it's a stupid.
The line was horrible. The line was not a good line for it with the whole Martha thing.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just because the name Martha is such an old name, but the humanizing standpoint makes sense. If the line had been changed, it's just save my mother or something like that. Yeah. But that's interesting. Yeah, that's the first time then that Batman saw him.
Because if you think about
it was always Alien. He was the bad guy.
Yeah, he was the bad guy. And then if you think about that fight scene, he technically only kills like one guy when he has to go save his mother. He beats everybody to a pulp. Like he quit. I'm guaranteed a lot of those people are not walking again.
Right.
Because he fucking just, and that was my favorite part in that movie because you're like Christian Bale, yeah, he fought guys, but you did not get to see Batman move like how he did. You did not get to see him like slam. Like literally, that guy gets back up and he hits him again on the thing, and then it was literally just the guy with the gun, like the flamethrower. He's all like, "Oh no, I won't. I know for sure you will kill her," and then he just takes that guy out. But other than that, like that was like the only person who died, pretty much. Yeah, I think about it. Opposed to all these other murders.
It was really good, violent action though that you saw out of this angry Batman.
Well, that's why I
lost Robin and everything else.
That's why I love when he gets stabbed with the knife and just pulls it out and then stabs the guy with it. Like, that's fucking Batman.
That's it.
But yeah, so you have a game.
Okay.
That you used to play on a podcast you guys did. And actually, you guys can still listen to their podcast, the 12A podcast production.
Yeah.
Guarantee check it out because they've always had some very funny banter and, like, good segments. Like, I came up with the segment, and I wasn't sure if it was stealing from you guys.
Okay.
Because I was going to come up with a game when we have guests on and stuff like that to play. I have to do my research, but it's called Go Home Netflix, You're Drunk.
Okay.
And what it would be is I would read a description that's on Netflix. Like, when you read those descriptions, and you're like, what is this movie about? And then I would give you multiple choice. You have to guess the title. Like, what am I talking about? Kind of thing. Because sometimes you will get bizarres.
Right.
Like, I forget some stuff that I watch and go, this movie had nothing to do with that.
That description,
kind of thing. Yeah. So that was an idea that I had, but I was like, oh, am I stealing from anybody or anything like that? So that was an idea that I need to put together.
Well, that was a cool thing. So, in the whole get to know thing, because this is, like I said, it's kind of awkward when you're on a first date and it's just you and one other guy in this case, and there's no Matthew to help with the banter or anything like that. So I'm thinking, all right, what can I do with Steven that is something different? We had this segment called Speed Round that we did on the 12A Productions podcast. Our goal was for it to be very quick-paced. I would ask Jeff a question. I would give him the two answers. He just had to pick one real quick. Do you like ice cream or cake? And go. Simple things like that. I thought, all right, I'm going to do a speed round. I'm going to speed round Steve-O just to get to know him. Maybe the audience can get to know him a little bit better. And that would be kind of a fun thing to do if you had new guests on. Like when you had K-Gen on, speed round her. That would let your audience get to know her, and then you guys get to know her.
That actually just reminded me. I heard of another game. I have to find it because it's an old game from the 1970s, but it's called Roll a Roll.
Roll a Roll?
Yeah. So what it is you have two dice and two people play, and this would work perfect for you because it's very improv.
Okay.
Very improv. So old game is like back in the 70s. So some of the stuff that come up, so basically you roll a dice and it says like blue dice is a blind man, and then red dice is an old woman. and then they give you a scenario. So it's like Blue has to convince Red that demons don't exist, and she's crazy, but Red thinks that like she's being possessed by a demon and stuff like that. So then it's like you have to be like, so I'm this old blind dude trying to convince this old lady or something. And it's just funny. I heard it on another podcast, like these people had this board game, and I was like, that because we don't have Merrick has the huge Cards Against Humanity thing,
right?
So my box isn't that big, so it wouldn't last long, those games.
Right.
Like his did. So I was like, I think Roller Roll would be such a good game to play.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to find it. I did find it on
Okay.
Amazon, but someone's trying to sell it for like $200. I'm like, I'm not
jeez.
paying for that. So I might just look on eBay or something like that. But
Uh,
I was like, the
interesting.
improv. I'm like, the improv thing. Now, I think there's other updated versions of it, but I want that one because it's just
The
like
70s one
they
would
have
be
some
great.
they have some crazy ass shit. Because they're like, I don't want to let this person into my church because they're a different minority. Like shit like that. That you're like,
Wow.
what?
You wouldn't get away with nowadays. Yeah, 70s
Exactly.
it has
That's
to
why I was like, I
happen.
really want to play
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So let's do a speed round. Let's see how
All right.
well I do.
Okay, we're going to test this out. I got to make sure. We also, I last minute threw this on Steve-O, so this is totally my fault if for some reason the audio doesn't work well. But here
Well,
we go.
you should be on.
All right.
Speed round.
I will give it to Sammy for making us some really great bumpers there for all of our.
Yeah, I
things,
need to
so.
pick his brain on that stuff.
Yeah. All right, so speed round. I have 10 questions for you.
All right.
Your answers are the questions. You just got to pick the first one quick as possible. Here we go. Which one do you love more, Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Would you rather eat burgers or tacos for the rest of your life?
Ooh, tacos.
Favorite holiday, Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Christmas.
Would you like a good slasher flick or a ghost story movie?
Ghost Story.
All right, Western or sci-fi movie?
Ooh, Western.
Mila Jovovich in Fifth Element or in Resident Evil?
Fifth Element.
Good call. Would you rather spend a weekend in the mountains or on the beach?
Beach.
Would you rather be able to fly or have X-ray vision?
Fly.
Would you prefer to have a career as a voiceover artist or a comic strip artist?
Voiceover.
And the toughest question of the night,
Okay.
Matt or Eric?
Ooh.
Matthew or Eric?
That is tough.
Oh, audio just broke down. Sorry, guys.
Hey, just for that.
Matthew or Eric?
Well, none of them are going to listen to this show,
Oh, good. See, so you just be honest about
so
both
I'm going to
those
be
dicks.
honest about it. No. That is a tough call. And so this one is actually going to take me longer to answer because I'm going to have to give a little bit of a backstory. So luckily, I was able to speed through those other ones.
Yes.
So Matthew and I have known each other since high school.
Okay.
We knew each other, but we didn't really hang out. Like Matthew and I didn't start hanging out until he actually been on our show and stuff like
Oh.
that. Like I've known him. We've gone to like the same concerts in high school, but never really ran into each other. Had maybe a few classes together. Now Eric and I, of course, have built this network, so I pretty much have kind of known them like with that hanging out span the same amount of time. But there's certain things I can talk to with Matthew that I can't talk with Eric, and certain things, and it's not even about each other.
Right. It's
just like how the
certain
dynamic
topics,
is and stuff
whatever
like
it
that.
is. Yeah. The
That
personality
is freaking
Okay,
tough.
then let me change it. Oh man, that just makes it tough all around. Because sometimes you'd rather hang out with Matthew and have a beer. Sometimes you'd rather hang out with Eric and have a beer. Sometimes you'd rather. Yeah, you're right. When it comes to the topic type of thing.
It's like there's so many things I can dive into with either or of them and stuff
Right.
like that. Oh, God, that's hard.
Okay, well,
Hey, do you want to do a fake like we'll do the oppose a fake Godzilla King Kong ending where like there was that's apparently a copy where like King Kong wins and apparently an episode where
There you go.
Godzilla wins. So
the alternate ending.
the alternate ending.
Yes,
I wish I had some music to be all like or it'd be like Clue. It's like, but this is what really happened.
Yes. You know when Clue originally came out in movie theaters, there were 3 different theaters. Yeah, so yeah, I love that. I love that about
And
Clue.
then it wasn't until it was finally released on VHS and VHS. I'm so glad someone else knows this guy. I'll
that's
bring up like
great.
obscure movies and I was like, they made a movie of that? I'm like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Um,
You do not have to answer that. I would just like
That's a tough
we
one.
were out of softies. I'm going to give him a tough one and see. But that, I can see now because of the different things you might talk to either one of them about how that would be
That's
a little
so
different.
hard.
I actually thought just because you'd be top of mind, you would just say Matthew because that's who you spend every Friday night with right now. So Eric, there you go. You still got a few more points with this guy, even though you moved back
I
east.
miss Eric, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like we're planning on going out to see him hopefully when we can and do like a live show in his studio east,
Yes.
as he calls it. But yeah, I'll just do the alternate ending. So we'll do like Matthew and then Eric.
There we go. All right, and that was speed round for you. So
You know
there you
what?
go.
Better idea. Everybody, contact me on. You know what? Contact me on Twitter. And who do you think I would pick?
Okay. All right, there you go.
So if you find me at Stephen Mooney Jr. on Twitter, I can put a poll. Yeah, because you can make polls on
so you
Twitter.
can make polls on
I
Twitter.
will make a poll on Twitter, and next week I will read off the answer what the audience, the
What the
listeners,
answers.
would think I would pick.
Who should?
But that's
Stephen
oh man, I
pick?
can't like literally you hit me with some stuff. I'm like, yeah, I know this one, and then you're just like, who is your Matthew's Eric? I'm like,
Yes.
oh shit.
Ooh.
Because sometimes Eric and I, like when Matthew wasn't here and it was Eric and I doing shows, we had really good shows, and same with Matthew and I and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, fuck, dude.
That's a tough one. All right, well, there you go. So yeah, sometimes speed around with Jeff and I would turn into not being very speedy at all. And then other times it was just like right across the board. And we would theme them sometimes. You know, we theme like this is all going to be a Western one or this is all about cartoons or whatever. So fun thing to do. So you can
I like
definitely
that.
steal that if you ever want to with guests and stuff. So what I
would do is anytime you come on the show, you just bring it up. If we have
yeah.
guests on and stuff like that,
I'll
we could
totally
do
speed round.
we could do it with everybody.
You
and
guys,
stuff like
yeah.
that. If you actually want to send me over that MP3,
I'll do that.
and then I can just add it to the soundboard, so we don't have to worry about like, oh, not having it. But yeah, of course, it played well, so
Yep. right.
they'll at least get to hear one good sound drop. God, yeah, I really hope they don't listen to the show. They're gonna be like, really, Steve?
All right. Well, okay, you're going to DCW me, and I don't know how long you want to go, but you and I are both big fans of cooking.
Oh,
So
yes.
we could talk about cooking too, and really mix
Speaking
up
of which, I'm
your
a
show.
little angry. Matthew and Megan promised me blue aprons.
Oh, I heard they have like 9
They have
extra
9
ones or
of them,
something,
and
yeah.
I really could use it because I'm like poor, and I have to do my food shopping tomorrow very carefully with money wise.
And those little shits are in Sedona right now.
Yeah,
whatever,
so
for
I know
flooding,
they're going to bring those over for me. So I'm excited to cook those. So that's the
Okay.
thing. Like I'm excited to cook things, but cooking in general. What do you want to know?
So I don't know where to start with it. Like, do you have a favorite thing to cook or a favorite tip you love to share with friends? Like, oh yeah, you can do this when you cook, type of thing, or anything like that. Like I've got a few of those. So
It's weird. It's like I've taken my mom gave me a recipe for chicken burgers, and now I have designed them my own way.
okay.
So the normal recipe was basically ground chicken. You throw in feta cheese crumbles, keep it together. But then I started adding sprinkle cheese from it's like I know you can get it at Fry's. I forget what it's called, but it's not like the powder cheese or whatnot. It's
No,
literally
like the powder Parmesan
It's
stuff.
like a three cheese blend or whatnot.
Sure.
So I throw that in to kind of also hold it together. But then I also been adding Frank's Red Hot to it.
Oh yeah.
So give it a little bit of spice, put some pepper on and stuff like that. So I kind of took her thing and then made it my own. One thing I loved cooking Chinese food.
Oh, interesting.
And
Okay.
which sucks though because I have now ruined all Chinese food for me. So I can no longer go out and have Chinese food because I feel like it tastes like crap compared to what I make. And I'm not even saying my shit's the best, but it just all starts out with basically how I can explain it is so I went at the beginning of this year. I was like, I need to do a couple of things that I want to learn, and cooking was one of them.
Okay.
And really thought it was going to be a chore.
Mhm.
Really thought I was not going to like it. I absolutely love cooking.
Yeah.
Just coming into the kitchen, preparing stuff, putting things together, and making it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Chinese food I really like. I like doing stuff with tacos, hamburgers, and stuff like that. I'm always just coming up with new weird ideas. I just think of stuff like the other night I called them death burgers because it was literally burgers, onion, sauteed onions, bacon, fried egg on top of it, cheese.
Yeah.
I was literally this is it's literally what was the remainder in my cabinet and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm trying to think of stuff that I've put together. I've been trying to put together a cooking YouTube thing or something like that to show people. But what about you? What is something you like to cook?
Well, I similar to you. I love doing different things with tacos, or actually, most recently, I've started making taco shells out of cheddar cheese. In fact, I posted it on my Instagram.
Ooh,
Dude, 400-degree oven, parchment paper, not wax paper, because you can't put that in your oven. Parchment paper, half a cup of cheddar cheese, just drop it on there and let it melt till it gets brown on the outside, and then take it and hang it over a wooden dowel or a spoon or something for a few minutes, and it hardens just enough, but it's flexible, but it's a cheddar cheese shell is what it is instead
amazing.
of. My wife and I were like, all right, we're gonna cut down on our carbs. We're trying to lose a little bit more weight.
Yeah.
So when you cut down on one thing, you gotta add more. So we added fats because cheese is delicious. So but oh my god, it was the fucking best thing I've ever done. It was really really cool, and so that's kind of changed my world, blow my world recently.
I like that
as far as that goes. But I'm a huge fan of cast iron stuff. I've got 3 or 4 cast iron skillets. And everything like that. So when I want to cook a steak, I won't put it on the grill. I will throw that cast iron into my oven at 500 degrees. And when the cast iron heats up, it keeps its heat for an extremely long time. But you can then throw the steak, because I'm trying to get it as hot as I can, like
Yeah.
crisp hot, so throw it in there, or, like if I'm camping, I'll just throw it on the fire for a long time beforehand, just get as hot as possible, and just throw that steak on there, sears on the outside just right, and then just get like a really good medium rare to it, and throw some butter and chives or whatever right on the steak. So I'm a really big fan of that. I tell you, in my fat days, I loved taking a whole thing of the chocolate chip cookie dough. I would put a little bit of butter on the bottom of the cast iron, push the whole thing of cookie dough on that cast iron, bake it in the oven, and just have a huge cookie dough filled with ice cream on it.
Like you get at the restaurants.
Yeah,
and
like
stuff.
you get at the restaurants.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing.
So.
I haven't attempted any baking stuff yet, and
Yeah.
I haven't attempted like any kind of dessert stuff yet.
Yeah, I haven't, except for that, I don't really do too much in the desserts. Desserts, unfortunately, in baking, is extremely science related, where you got a lot of flexibility when you're cooking stuff. You do the wrong amount of salt or baking powder or something in a cake, and it's totally screwed up. It's not going to do that in the food stuff. The reason I wanted to talk about food, though, a little bit was because I really think it is a cool thing that people don't realize about geeks and nerds is a lot of the geeks and nerds I know are amazing cooks. I've got this other buddy, Joel, who, big gamer guy, dresses up for Comic-Con, all this other stuff, and he's got like an amazing recipe for grilled pork chops.
Oh, really?
And he loves cooking and working in the kitchen. And I don't know if it's just there is an art and a science to it, and it's kind of like a mad scientist thing to some degree. But I know a lot of the socially awkward, geeky types that are good cooks.
Yeah, it's a weird thing because you just kind of I didn't even know how things were. I think one of the first things I tried to cook on my own was literally lettuce wraps.
Oh, okay.
And it came out phenomenal. But then I improved on the sauce. I made my own sauce with it.
Yeah.
And everyone loves that sauce. Matthew and Erica's had a couple of my dishes over here a few times. They were like, wow, this is really good and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I honestly told people, look, if it doesn't taste well, let me know.
I need to know this.
Because I'm colorblind. So trying to make sure everything browned correctly or things like that. I mean, the best thing my parents got me was a meat thermometer for my birthday. So I was like, yay, I can this is good to eat.
Good. That's not going to kill me.
But yeah, it's just I'm just into prime example, chicken Alfredo. This chicken Alfredo dish that I used to cook a long time ago, back when I had a fiance at the time or whatnot. I have taken that recipe and I've made it 10 times better than when it was there, because I literally just had these little instructions and I was like, okay, I got to follow these, and now it's I'm improving on it. So literally I do Frank's Red Hots on these things, throw them in a bag of breadcrumbs, so that sticks to the thing, and then bake it like that, and then throw cheese on it and stuff like that, and it's just all these weird things. That's all it is. It's cook something once, enjoy it, and then just go, oh, okay, what goes with this? What else can I add to this? And it's I even started cooking it's called spaghetti carbonara, which is really good, which is it's basically spaghetti with cheese and bacon. It's basically what it is.
Delicious.
I was on board. Very easy to make, very easy to do. The only thing I improved on it, because I was trying to get a good sauce with it, because you kind of throw an egg in it. You throw a beaten egg in there. And then, but sometimes it could get too fast where it starts making a scrambled egg thing on top of it or whatnot. So I started adding a little bit more of the cheese in with it and stuff like that to get this kind of almost sauce that you want for it. And then it's I started cooking the bacon up alongside with it, but now I just take the bacon, throw it in the oven, let it cook, and then I would just break the bacon apart because everything would come out at the same time, and it turned out 10 times better. I've added to get some green in there. You could add green onions, chop those up, toss those in at the very end, or you can even take a frozen bag of peas. And just dump that in towards the end of it, and it would literally cooks up with everything, and then you got that. So, I mean, it's very, very starchy, obviously, spaghetti and bacon and everything like that. But I have it every once in a while. That's the other thing, you got to kind of pace yourself. But yeah, again, just a thing I've never tried before.
Yeah, and it's just having the adventure of trying it and not being afraid to try something new. I'm so glad you brought up cooking bacon in the oven too. There's not a lot of people that realize you can do that, and that's one of the best ways to get bacon cooked, because cooking bacon slowly, throw it in the oven while it's cold and heat it up to temp and let it slowly rise up is the best way to render the fat on a bacon,
Yeah, there's also there's a tip, I guess if you wash the bacon with cold water and then toss it in the oven or whatnot, it doesn't shrink as much.
Right, you'll have larger pieces of bacon, yeah.
So and then again, a thing I've never even heard of, because it's my dad just, my parents used to just throw the bacon in the microwave.
Yeah, right, yeah, it was in the microwave, or it was in a pan thing, and then as I've learned and just read up or noticed tips and stuff, and that's what's really cool, is there's this science to it and doing something a little bit different, so, yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to think what else. I'm getting excited because Crock-Pot season is going to be coming up, when it finally cools down. So I remember I did like a honey garlic chicken in there one time.
Ooh.
You literally just set it for 6 hours. Boom, cooks itself. The chicken just falls like right apart. It's like
it's
just
the
stuff
best
like
way.
that. It's
Yeah.
just like
Yep.
so. It's just kind of fun. It's just like you just find like literally I just kind of go through. It's basically what's it called? Like
Chopped. I was thinking like Chopped, where they've got the basket on the Food Network, where they've got the basket of random 5 ingredients.
Oh.
You know, it's like sometimes that's how I was cooking in my kitchen. It's like, all right, those are the 6 things I have. Let's see what I can make out of it. You know.
Well, I was thinking of like a good thing to follow on Facebook and stuff like that is those what's it called, like those Tasties videos.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mhm.
I even put together sliders from one of those things, which came out pretty good. Like you did the ground beef, and then I found out you could do a bunch of different sliders.
Mm-hmm.
There's like all these different things to do, so you're just like it's just finding something, trying it out, and see how it goes. Like, yeah, granted, your first recipe might not come out good. I mean, somebody made shepherd pie not too long ago. It was really good, but in my head I was going like, oh, you know what you could also do, and it wasn't even like being like to make it better. Like it was still really good for their first attempt of shepherd pie.
Right.
But in my head, like that's what I would have done. I would have made it like they did. And then I would have been like my next trial, been like, you know what, I'm going to do this now.
to it.
And then when I mentioned 2 things, they were like, oh, that's actually like a good way to like add more. I said like, yeah, put a thing of potatoes on the bottom, so it's just not the meat on the bottom. Then put the meat, put some more cheese and stuff like that, and then I go and then make a gravy.
Right.
So after you get done with it, you can put some gravy on it because that was like the thing I noticed it was missing something.
Something. It was a little dry. It was something there. Yeah.
It wasn't really dry. It was just like there was just, but it's
something.
But yeah, it's just. But that's what I tell people. It's like I'm not here criticizing. I'm not going like, this is what you need to do.
I know better than you.
Like, and it's not even that because I'm like I just fuck with shit. Like speaking of the steaks, we have grills out in my apartment complex. I've never used them.
Okay.
Someone told me about a grill like pan. And I was like, okay, I'm going to look into that. But I had a steak. It was just a flank steak. And I chopped it up because you cut that thing in half and have like 2 servings, a meal for 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
Cut it in half, but I had it marinating. I totally forgot about the other half for like 3 or 4 days.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Then I cooked it up. It came out so good. Like people thought I grilled it.
Yeah. Yep.
And they're like, what did you do? I'm like, I just pan fried it. I literally just took it out, dumped the rest of the stuff on it, pan fried the rest of it, seared it, got it all like, thing, and then chopped it up. And I think I made like steak tacos with it.
Oh, delicious.
Yeah. And it was just like, holy shit. And people were like, oh, did you grill this? I'm like, no. But it was just like, it was literally, I haven't had a steak that good in a while. Like if I probably go to an Outback Steakhouse or like a steak restaurant, that would probably be the quality that it came out to be because it literally like melted in your mouth. It was nuts.
Right. Yeah.
And I was just like, I guess I should marinate things longer. So I even thought about doing that with chicken.
And
like
that's
with teriyaki. I found this teriyaki stuff that it's like a barbecue kind of thing. But I figured I might just marinate the chicken in that one time and then throw it in. And then like I started adding like I did like the teriyaki chicken that I made like it's a teriyaki sauce, but it was a sweet tangy one because I added honey and then sriracha to it.
Yeah. Just amazing.
And people were just like, this sauce is like ridiculous. And it's just me just going like, oh, let's fuck around. Let's, it's like there's no science to it. To me, at least, I'm just like, let's just throw science at the wall and see what happens.
Right. And it's I used to want to make write a cookbook that wasn't a cookbook. It was just these are your basics. These are your sweet things. These are your spicy things. These are your sour things. This is what this is all works out. My oldest son is 5, and anytime I'm cooking or baking, I let him. Don't make him. Hey, taste it. What does cinnamon taste like? What does nutmeg taste like? What does this pepper taste like? What does salt taste like? You got to figure that out, and that's really the way. Just you get those bases down. Oh man, it's just unlimited. Yeah, you're just making science shit in your kitchen.
It's lots of fun. So like I'm looking forward to that. It's funny because I have a Dutch oven that I got last year for Christmas, and I've been wanting to make like soup out of it because my one roommate used to make like onion like sweet. French onion soup. That's what I was trying to remember. But then, like, even I'm thinking, like, potato soup and, like, all this. I mean, fuck, I used to be, like, I'm a master of, like, grilled cheese, and then I even fuck with that. Where I'm just all, like, I did a thing, I called it, like, it was, like, basically the America Death grilled cheese thing. Because I literally cooked up hot dogs, sliced them in half, and then threw them into the grilled cheese, and then grilled it up like that. People are like, this is phenomenal. I'm like, my arteries hate me. But but it came out great. But that's all it is. Just kind of take stuff and fuck around with it. Like, don't go extreme where you're like, I'm going to take broccoli and cinnamon sugar. It's like you gotta be smart with shit.
Yeah, you gotta know your base. You gotta be smart with it. But we could go out with this forever because broccoli just brings up something. I recently grilled my broccoli for the first time, it totally changed. Having a little bit of that char on the broccoli has changed my life.
I'm gonna have to try that now.
Yeah,
I would have never even thought to do that.
No,
we talk about steaming it,
right,
or sautéing it.
Yeah, no. So it was just, it just plain as it was. Just threw it on the grill one time. This, you cut it in half and threw this broccoli on the grill, all the leaves, and yeah. So it's a lot of fun. But yeah, you mentioned cooking a few times. You mentioned I was listening to last week's episode, and I was like, I got to talk to him about some cooking stuff. I feel like on your Instagram, we follow each other on Instagram, and yeah, you've got a few good pictures of your dinners out there. So I remember the Philly cheesesteak sliders. I think was one of my favorite ones.
That was a good one. One I really enjoyed that I made was it's a lot of work to do, and I think I need a deep fryer for it because I was doing it with the basic like oil in there and frying it up and stuff like that. But I did cordon bleu chicken burgers, and that was phenomenal. That was really good. It's very, very lot of work. It was worth it though, but very lot of work because it's like you had to get flour. I had to grab what's this stuff? I'm trying to think. It's milk, but it's not milk. It's like a cream. It's a heavy cream. Shit, what is it called?
Whole milk, condensed milk, sweetened condensed milk. It's not even a milk though.
It's like egg.
Heavy cream. Eggnog.
Maybe it's heavy cream. I can't wait for eggnog. Shit, I forget what it was called, but it's like some of that. But it's like the problem is you can only buy it in such a big bottle, and you're not going to use it that much, and it runs out really fast. So you're just kind of like milk butter.
Oh, okay.
Buttermilk. There we go. I'm like milk butter. Yeah, dyslexic. Yeah. So I mean, but yeah, you dip it in that, and then you fry them up and everything like that. But yeah, it came out amazing. Yeah. But it was a lot. It's a lot of work,
and
that was actually the time I had my parents over. I finally cooked them dinner.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. At least you went all out for them.
Yeah, I did.
That is part of the problem. Is it's a lot of work, and the right ingredients, you got to shell out a little bit of money for it. So it's just like when you're making sauces and stuff. There is such a difference between getting a thing of ginger versus the actual ginger root and grating some of the ginger root. You know, like in Chinese cook, I love ginger. You know, and so there is a difference there, and it does suck. Yeah, when you're gonna think of buttermilk and it's all going to go bad. I'm using it for one dinner and throwing the rest away.
Yeah, so, it kind of sucks because you're like, I really want to make this again, and then you kind of settle in going like, well, I just made this. It was a lot of work. It's just me eating here tonight, kind of thing. But I've been looking into other stuff to make. Like I do want to make like pizzas. I just want to try all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm into anything. Like most of the time, most people will be sending, and now at work, they'll be sending me, like, if I'm Facebook friends with them, they'll find something on Tasty or something, they'll literally send it to me, and I just started saving these videos now because they want me to make this stuff.
Mm-hmm. The pizza things bring it up, so I want to get into, because the winter's coming up, I want to make a go at baking bread.
Oh, okay.
Like, I want to do my, the yeast, raising the bread and stuff like that. My mom used to bake, like, fresh sourdough bread and stuff, and she had the sourdough starter and everything like that. But yeah, I think it'd be fun. And when you mentioned pizzas, like the pizza dough, I think that's like the biggest thing. If you can get a dough just right,
it's
that
perfect.
Crust, that's just amazing.
Yeah, you could go out and buy like the boboli, and that's fine and everything like that. But like as soon as you actually make your own kind of thing, well, that was like the thing. Like Matthew and Megan, when Matthew had his birthday party, they did like a beer party thing, and she made like all these things, and I literally was just like. And now I'm probably gonna have to jump into it for it, but I was like, "Where'd you get these recipes?" Like she made like the beer dip. She made like these bacon. It was like bacon wrapped.
Tater tots. Yes, I remember. You told me about that. Yeah,
and stuff. And a lot of the stuff is really good. And she's just like Pinterest, and I'm all like, I'm like, I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna jump on Pinterest, and then I'm gonna get sucked into a rabbit hole.
Oh my god!
And nothing's gonna get done.
Yes, you are.
So that's why I kind of like. It's like I want to, but I don't want to. But yeah, I mean, it's just out there, kids. Like and I'll put it this way: literally anybody can cook. Because I didn't think I could. Yeah, and it turns out like a lot of people are like, you were really good at this, and I'm not even like, and that's the thing, like I don't boast a lot of things, like I don't think I'm good at anything, but this is just so, and it's kind of fun. It's like you come home, you're like, I want to cook this or whatnot. I was actually talking to Samantha, I think about it. She was on the show a while back. Because I always see it in, this is how I relate. I always see it in animes where they're always going to the store and buying just like their dinner for that night and then cooking it up. And she's like, yeah, we do that in London like all the time. Like sometimes you'll just be like, oh, I want this for dinner. You're just going to go. So I actually thought about doing that one night, just picking up the stuff that I'm just going to cook for that night.
Yeah.
And see how that goes. Like I actually want to try lobster tails. I want to cook like that stuff up. So I mean, like I'm a huge seafood person. Yeah. Like I love seafood and I love sushi and Chinese, and I've gotten some Chinese stuff down. Like I found what did I find? Sorry, now we're going on a rant. I found this recipe. I haven't made it yet, but it's basically dumplings.
Okay.
The Chinese dumplings, but it's you take it's a barbecue. What's it called? It's like like hot wings, barbecue hot wings.
Okay.
So you put like that stuff inside of it, and then you give it like a ranch dipping. sauce to go with it.
What?
And I was like, yeah, I think I have it saved somewhere. And then that just reminded me for Thanksgiving what I want to do. Thanksgiving egg rolls. So you take the turkey, you take mashed potatoes, you take stuffing, you take all that stuff, and you put it in an egg roll, fry it up.
Fry that.
And then the dipping sauce is the cranberry.
Oh my God, you just blew my mind.
I know.
Oh my God, that's going to be Thanksgiving leftovers are going to be my egg rolls the next week.
So it's like, yeah, you just have to find the
pastry dough,
pastry for it,
yeah.
and then just fry them up. And I was like, that's amazing.
Well, and here locally we have Lily's Market over on in Chandler. Yep, you can get.
Yeah, so those are two
those
are two things I would like to just cook up. Like that'd be a perfect just thing to bring to a party and just be like, oh, and if you think about it, it's like you're eating like chicken wings, like hot wings, in this dumpling, but it's a lot less messy.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh my God, this egg rolls thing blew my mind.
Yeah, I saw that like last year, and I think that was one of the things I was like, I really want to learn cooking.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's so unique. And so I actually thought about blowing like my work's mind with the deal of potluck for Thanksgiving and just doing that.
And just doing that.
And just watching them like, why'd you bring egg rolls? I'm like,
just try that out.
Just try that out.
So
yeah, but yeah, no, and it's funny because Eric's really big into cooking too.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
So yeah, he's finally back since he has a kitchen now to cook and stuff. I forget what he cooked up the other night. Looked really good. But yeah, so now it's like kind of like this cool like thing. But it's kind of nice to hear that people like cook and stuff.
Oh yeah. It's fun thing, and like I said, it's a lot of the geeks and nerds, quote unquote, that I know. Like I know a handful of people that are, I would call them very career oriented, like corporate type people, and they don't know the first thing about cooking, But I know a lot of guys like us or girls like us that are just like they're amazing cooks, and it's almost like an in the closet thing. You don't talk about it much at all or anything like that. And it's a really fun thing.
Yeah, it was just weird because I was like, my parents gave me a bunch of, because I realized when I moved out from my old place when I was living with Sammy. She had a lot of like silverware and everything, and I didn't have shit. So I literally, I was like, I'm gonna cook something. No, I'm not. Take out because I have paper plates, and so then I finally got all this kitchen stuff, and that was literally last year's Christmas. I called it the adult Christmas because I literally got like all this shit like for cooking and stuff.
Yeah.
And then even everybody's been like, wow, you're posting. And the funny part is like I'm not trying to post stuff on Instagram. Like, oh, look what I'm eating tonight or something like that. I'm literally going like, I'm happy about this. This is what I made.
I made this. It was delicious.
It was good, And then I was kind of hoping more people would be like, oh, well, what did you do? And then I could be like, oh, this is what I did, and all this kind of stuff. And I'm learning about like rice because I would always buy just like the packet rice. Like I found these great rice things for quick, like easy meals. They're in a bag. You just throw them in the thing. It's like rice in a bag.
Right.
I think it's from like Uncle Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Not Spider-Man, Uncle Ben. I'm just kidding. You throw them in and they just boil, and then you rip them out of the bag and stuff.
Right.
But then I actually cooked rice just in a normal bag. I think it was like some, what's it called, Jensen?
Okay.
Something rice or whatnot. Just basically normal white rice, and I realized that came out, like, tasted a lot better than me just doing that
the
thing.
quick boil in the water.
So that actually made my decision of going like, okay, maybe I should kind of look into more, not just buying like, okay, this will do for fine and stuff like that, because I realized when I made that the teriyaki dish with it, that rice naan, I was like, wow, this is a lot better, So it's all about trial and error and stuff like that, which I kind of like. So
beautiful.
But yeah, I think that's about it. So before we wrap the show, so you need to watch
Flash.
DCW Flash. Yeah,
Yes.
I would recommend going with. I know there's a shit ton of there's like 4 shows out there. I say give Flash a try.
Okay.
If you do not like Flash, then I wouldn't even bother with anything.
All right, I will give Flash a try. You give Westworld a try. And
I was already planning on watching Westworld.
We're going to reconvene because I think I'm back on the 28th, right? That's the
Is it
last Friday.
Okay, yeah, I just want.
So that's the last Friday of the month.
Yeah,
so
if you're gonna come back to that one.
28th.
Oh, you're just in time for a Halloween show.
Oh yeah. Ooh, so I need. Oh damn it! I'm gonna have to watch a couple. I'll find some good Halloween movies. Then.
Well, I don't know what we'll talk about, but we'll just try to. I just
Yeah.
did that for the last. I think it was like the 1 year. I was all like, "We're doing the spooktacular." And Eric was like, "Really?"
All right.
I'm like, I
All
don't
right.
want to do this.
All right.
Maybe I wouldn't hang out with Eric. Now that I think about it.
Matthew's the winner.
I'm just kidding. No, I got to
Let's
set
see
that.
what Twitter says.
Let's see what Twitter says. Actually, what I'll
do.
do, I'll let the poll go for 2 weeks. So when
Oh,
you're
there
back
you go.
on the
When I'm
show,
back, I can
we can read
re-ask.
it.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But yeah, if you want to
Actually,
come up with a cool speed round,
I'll
for
do a speed
Halloween.
round for Halloween with you and Matthew. I'll speed round you both. Okay, we'll plan on that. And then yes, I will get some Flash in me so I can.
Yeah, I would say try it. If you don't like it, don't even bother. If you do love the Flash, you finish the Flash, then I would say go with Supergirl afterwards.
Okay.
And then if you like Supergirl, then I would say Legends of Tomorrow.
Okay.
Legends of Tomorrow, it might be a hit and miss. It does deal with time traveling So
Who's like? Are there any like characters I would know in Legends Tomorrow?
Legends
like,
of Tomorrow is
comic-wise?
Hawkgirl, Hawkman,
Okay.
at the Atom,
Okay.
Firestorm.
No.
Well, Firestorm you'll learn about in Flash.
Okay.
And then he kind of goes off in his own thing. And then 2 Flash villains are also in Legends of Tomorrow, Heatwave and Captain Cold.
Okay.
Which is funny. You ever watch Prison Break?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Those are the 2 guys.
No. The brothers from that?
Yeah, Captain Cold and Heatwave are the 2 brothers from that, and they play them beautifully.
Really?
Because they have such good chemistry from that show, and they bring it over to this show. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to watch Flash.
Check it out then. Okay.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people in Flash that you're going to be like, oh, okay, I'm kind of on board with this.
Interesting. Well, and my wife was a huge Prison Break fan, so she may like Flash because they're going to be in it. Yeah.
I don't know their actual names, but the one brother, I would say the smaller one, not like the bigger one, but the smaller one, he plays Captain Cold. He plays it so fucking good.
That's great.
It's that's what I'm saying. Like, you're looking at it going like, yes, it's a CW show. Yes, it's stupid teen drama.
CW did an amazing job on getting the right people doing
they did.
The casting.
They really
blows
did.
me away. Wow. Okay.
So definitely check out. I'm really excited if you actually jump on the Flash. You love the Flash. I just can't wait till you get to King Shark. Oh God. Because you might just blow your fucking. You'd be like, they fucking did this. Like, it's the most ridiculous character, and you're like, but they did it, and they did it well. You're like,
All right. I will check out The Flash. You're going to check out Westworld. We're going to reconvene in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Matthew will be back around. Do you have any good guests on for next week at all? Or
I
just
don't.
Matthew right now?
I think it's just Matthew and I. I will check around. I have asked people. Matt and Jen Hines. They do a lot of stuff with Comic-Con.
Yeah.
They're a little bit busy because of FanFest coming up. And that's what I'm noticing. A lot of people are probably busy for that. So it might just be a hostful episode next week. I'm not sure. We'll find out. But I have asked some people. I know Matt and Jen, it was like probably after FanFest, so they'll probably be on like during November or whatnot. But yeah, I'm slowly getting more guests. Maybe Carmen. Maybe Carmen might be on again because I did ask her to come on this week and she said she couldn't. So maybe I'll just hit her up again
next week. Well, and we need to have like a time where we're interviewing, get that female in here, that third one. Like there was a lot of fun hearing K-Ginge and Megan on last week's podcast. So that should be interesting to get into.
Hearing you say that actually was like, okay, cool. There was a good dynamic there and stuff like that because a lot of people will listen to the podcast and then I don't hear any feedback at all.
Yeah.
So I can talk to Matthew because Matthew. He will talk to Megan, and Megan can talk to them. And I would love to get a third host, a co-host on here for the show. And I was saying a female dynamic would be great.
Yeah.
So
no, definitely. Well, and maybe that's what you could do is have Matthew talk to them and just have them on one at a time to see how they really do with just you and Matthew and K-Ginge or you and Matthew.
Well, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do
just do
trials.
One at a time and try it out and see how it works out. Well, that's good. There's a lot of fun things happening with the network. So you guys have an amazing amount of shows too, which is awesome. Hold on. Apparently. We have like
I'm gonna let that play because I can't restart it. But I have it on mute because I was like that was not planned. I was just getting up to the intro music because I just want to thank Steven for coming on the show. Thank you for dinner. Hey, Matthew, you missed out, bitch. No, I'm just kidding. So I want to thank Steven. So Steven, if people are looking for you, if they want to find you, follow you, do you want fans or whatnot?
Yeah, Twitter or Instagram. Instagram is just S Maston, my last name, Mastin, and Twitter is Steven Maston. So make it easy there, but that is where I am hanging out in the world of social media.
Very cool, very cool. So I want to thank everybody for coming out. Don't forget to check out our sponsors, Amazon.com. You don't go to Amazon, you go to the Sasquatch.net, click on that Amazon banner and shop like you normally do. Actually, speaking of Amazon, they're releasing a new Fire Stick.
I heard this.
With the voice activating thing, because I have the old model.
Okay.
Which I absolutely love. I love the Amazon Fire Stick. I thought it was a really cool tool. Because when I had the TV in my bedroom, I would just put the stick in, and because a lot of the stuff I just watch on consoles and everything, because they have all the apps. But like when I want to get a bigger TV out here and then put that TV back in the bedroom. But just having that little stick in and a remote, it was beautiful.
So right in HDMI, you're done. Yeah.
So I think that product becomes available, I believe, on October 22nd. So if you don't have an Amazon Fire Stick, look, you can watch all these stuff we were talking about. Get the HBO Go app, get Netflix, get Hulu, get the CW app. You can check out all these shows and just have this nice little stick, and then it has a microphone in it, so you can just be like, Flash!
Yeah, play me Flash.
Play me Flash.
Does it understand drunk, Steve?
I'll put it this way. If it understands Gary Busey, it's going to understand everybody.
Yes.
So if you want to pick one of those things up, go to the Sasquatch.net, click on that Amazon banner, and shop like you normally do. And the holiday season's coming up, so Dude,
Perfect.
you get to shop, we get a little bling, you get better quality shows. So I think that's going to wrap up this episode of Socially Awkward. Thanks again, Steven, for coming out.
Thank you for the invite, definitely.
And yeah, like I tell everybody, they're welcome back anytime.
Cool.
And we always will work around other people's schedules. So like, even if you're like, I can't do next week or the following week, I can do I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Just let me know. But yeah, so until next time, kiddos. What you need to do, you need to tap that sass. You need to tap the biggest sass. It's ever sass. I know the biggest sass. I've seen the sass. It's huge. It's amazing. We're going to make America great again with the sass.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks, don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
It's